Washington Redskins and the New York Giants started their rivalry back in 1932. And no matter the record, most of their games have been tough, physical battles. Right now, both teams are struggling with losing streaks, and they just need a win to try and get straightened out. The Giants have lost 4 in a row and know that the St. Louis Cardinals, the St. Louis Rams have won today, so they need to keep pace in the wild card race in the NFC. The Rams, with their win, 6-6. The Giants are 5-6. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with the all-star defensive lineman Bill Moss. These two teams have a lot of similarities, a lot of injuries all season long. They've struggled offensively. They've switched from veteran quarterbacks to young quarterbacks. And for the Giants, they're a team looking for points, Bill.
Yeah, points. And I think Coughlin knew, Sam, that when he made the switch to a young quarterback, that there was going to be a learning curve. But he himself said, I'm impatient. I want results right now. And if they're going to get results today, I think they've got to air the ball out downfield. Now, they have a pretty good running attack with Tiki Barber, but they're going against the number 3 rush defense in the NFL, in the Washington Redskins, and they will swarm you. So I don't think with the young line and the injuries at the offensive line that they can muster a run game. I think if they're going to be successful today, it's going to be on the arm of Eli Manning, and Shockey has to be more of a part of the passing game. I know he leads the team in receptions, but don't keep him in the block. Get him downfield and attack when they blitz.
Now, for the Washington Redskins, offense has been a season-long problem. They haven't scored 20 points in a game yet. Head coach Joe Gibbs, who knows offense very well, is a man looking for some big plays.
Looking for answers. He's looking for answers with this offense, and it's been a season-long process of trying to figure out what they are actually on offense. They brought in new linemen, they brought in new free agents, quarterbacks, running backs, and he's trying to find a fit for everybody. In the last couple of weeks, they've gotten away from the running game for one reason or another. They've played 2 tough defenses in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and they've kind of gotten away and just tried to get the ball downfield and throw it all over the place. Today, I think you're going to find out what the Redskins are all about. I expect them to run this ball about 30 to 40 times a game and just try to hammer this defense of the New York Giants.
Bill, to check on how your fantasy team is doing, dial 63504 on your singular wireless phone or log on to foxsports.com. Giants have some more injury problems. This one on the offensive line. For more on that, let's go to Chris Myers.
Sam, a developing story. The O-line of the Giants taking a hit before they even got to the stadium. Chris Snee, their starting right guard, woke up this morning with a gland problem below his jaw. There was swelling and pain. He came to the stadium early. Doctors treated it, could not alleviate the problem, so he is inactive. Wayne Lucier will start at right guard, and against this Redskin blitzing defense, now more than ever, Eli Manning, of course, and the Giants will have to keep their guard up. Sam, Bill?
Thanks very much, Chris. And the Giants have also an injury problem on their return game. Willie Ponder has a back problem, and he is inactive, and the rookie Derek Ward will return. Second meeting of the season. Redskins were beaten by the Giants in New York 20-14 in week 2. Both these teams have changed considerably since then. John Hall kicks off. Derek Ward, his second return of the season, starts from the 13. Takes it outside, picks up a good block. Hall brings him down up across the 45 near the 48-yard line. Good return by the rookie Derek Hall. Eli Manning leads his team on the field. He's thrown 1 touchdown pass, 4 interceptions in his 2 starts the last 2 weeks. The offensive line, Sean O'Hara is back after missing 2 games with an ankle injury, but Chris Snee is out, and Wayne Lucier starts at right guard. Tiki Barber has been Mr. Everything, and they'll try to stop him on the running game. Giants start from the 47. After a 34-yard kickoff return, Manning throws to Jim Finn, the fullback, and he's across midfield. We welcome those of you who are watching the Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions, with the Lions winning that game 26-12. Take a look at the Redskins on defense. They're second in the NFL, number 1 in the NFC. The former Giant Cornelius Griffin having a big season, and Philip Daniels is back after missing 3 straight games. The linebackers have been active and good even without LeVar Arrington, who's missing his 10th straight game. Former Giant Ryan Clark starts at strong safety. 2 tight ends in for the Giants. Shockey in motion. Tiki Barber carries. Runs into a wall. Good job by the Redskins up front. Lamar Marshall, the outside linebacker, leading the charge. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 for the Giants.
Sam, yeah, you know, that's been some of the problems for the New York Giants. Is it's a sporadic run offense. Now, this offense ranks 9th in the NFL in rushing the football, but it's not on a consistent enough basis. And if they're going to try to run today, I think you're going to say that phrase over and over. They're met by a wall of Washington defenders.
3 wide receivers left. Jamar Taylor is in. Manning out of the shotgun. Pressure. Down he goes. He was sacked 5 times last week. The Redskins come up with sack number 1 here, dropping him at the 46-yard line. Philip Daniels leading the way with the sack.
Well, when you have 3rd and long, Washington Redskins are going to blitz, and they're going to come after you hard. Watch to the left side. This is where the stunt comes underneath. Here comes the pressure up inside. Ryan Clark's in there. I'll tell you, Phil Daniels is in there. They just come and they blitz on 3rd down and long. When they get you on 3rd and long, it's a nightmare for any quarterback.
Jeff Feagles, good high punt. James Thrash waves for a fair catch and takes the ball at the 12-yard line. So the Redskins go on offense for the first time after a good defensive stand. 43-yard punt. There is a flag down.
During the kick, holding 40 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Rock Cartwright of the Redskins called for the hold. Sets them back 6 more yards. Take a look at the Redskins on offense. Patrick Ramsey takes over in his 3rd start at quarterback. He played against the Giants in week 2. The offensive line, Randy Thomas, is back after missing a game with a hamstring. They expected him to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. He missed 1. Chris Cooley has done a good job as a tight end and H-back. Clinton Portis has been held to only 54 yards rushing the last 2 weeks. Redskins start from their own 6-yard line. Cooley in motion. And Rod Gardner motions. And Clinton Portis carries. Good hold for Clinton Portis. Up across the 15-yard line. The middle linebacker, Kevin Lewis, made the stop. Good gain on 1st down by Clinton Portis. Take a look at the revamped Giants defense. Inside, William Joseph starts for the injured Norman Hand. Lance Legree and Osi Umenyiora, the defensive ends, have replaced Michael Strahan and Keith Washington. The linebackers, Kevin Lewis is the middle linebacker. Carlos Emmons now playing at 100% physically. Terry Cousins starts at free safety. Brent Alexander moves from free to strong safety. On 2nd down, it's Portis again. Bounces outside. Has more than enough for a 1st down. Gets up to the 21-yard line. Couple of good runs. And Barrett Green and Clinton Portis get in each other's face.
Sammy, as I was talking about, as Washington spent a whole season trying to figure out what they are on offense, I want you to take a look at Clinton Portis and watch his motion. This is the cutback. And this is what he excelled at when he was in Denver. Now, the first play of the game was a cutback as well, because any plays that are hitting in the middle of the offensive line but start out a different direction are a cutback play, like right there.
There's Portis cutting back inside, gets across the 25 up to the 27.
Beautiful.
Carlos Emmons makes the stop, but a good gain, and Portis comes out running very, very well.
And this is the same thing again. Start it this way and come back this way. And what they're reading right here is the linebackers. They're reading these guys right there, the linebackers. And as the linebackers flow, that's what Clinton Portis' eyes are reading. And then he's looking for the cutback backside and where the seam may be.
20 yards on 3 carries for Portis. Sweeps out to the left side, cuts it upfield. Good gain. He's out of bounds up at the 39-yard line. Another good one for Clinton Portis. Off to a great start. Terry Cousin forced him out.
Well, we just talked about the linebackers. Now I want you to watch the linebackers. Now they start slow playing it, waiting for the cutback. See him come downhill, waiting for the cutback, and they don't get outside. That's what the cutback does. It really puts a heck of a predicament on the linebackers. You know, you sit there and you have to slow play it. Now all of a sudden there's a wall of offensive linemen around you, and they hit the perimeter with Portis' speed.
2 tight ends in. Darnarian McCants is the wide receiver. Portis again, his 5th carry of the game. Short gain up to the 41. 5 carries, 34 yards for Clinton Portis, who needed just 55 to reach 1,000 for the third consecutive season. First two in Denver. He rushed for over 1,500 yards. And we welcome you to Washington. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Chris Myers. Redskins first offensive possession. Giants went 3 and out. Second 7 for the Redskins. The play fake and the roll by Ramsey. And he throws and completes for Chris Cooley. Leaping grab by the rookie at the 45-yard line. He had 7 catches against Pittsburgh last week. He's been a good find.
Classic Washington Redskins offense. You run, fake the run, and then bootleg out the back door for the play-action pass. You see all the linebackers and all the defensive linemen following Portis. You have to honor that. And you have to honor that. He just had great success on his last 5 run plays, so you have to run with him on that fake run, and then is out the back door with the bootleg.
Liddell Betts in the backfield, 3 wide receivers, and it's Betts carrying. And a good pickup by the hard-running Liddell Betts. Gets about 8 on the play. Outstanding drive by the Redskins, which started at their 6-yard line. And they're mixing it up well now, running very well.
They are mixing it up extremely well on this opening drive. Now you get Betts in here, and look, it's more downhill. It's off tackle. It's straight ahead. It's not the perimeter run cutback. It's not the counter play, but it's more right at you downhill lead with Cooley as the lead blocker.
2 tight ends in. Darian McCants is wide to the right. It's Liddell Betts again, and he's got a first down for the Giants' 33-yard line. Strong opening possession by the Washington Redskins, who the last 2 weeks played on the road at Philadelphia and at Pittsburgh.
Sammy, and the injuries to the Giants' defensive line has just been brutal all season long, starting with Michael Strahan. They had to start guys, and they have never started before. There's guys in there that haven't played.
Short drop, Ramsey throws, completes. Lavernius Coles out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Tim Lewis is really had a nightmare of the last couple of weeks. You look at the numbers, opponents' rushes right over here. See those numbers? 4.2 yards a carry, and that's what Washington is emphasizing this game. With the rash of injuries they've had defensively, the New York Giants, Sam, that Washington just said, we're going to line up and we're going to come at them and we're going to pound them until they stop it. And with the success they'll have in the running game, that's where the play-action pass really can get big.
10th play of the drive for the Redskins. It's Clinton Portis. Cuts it back. Big gain. Picks up a block. Fights his way down to the 12-yard line. Terry Cousin made the stop. They'll spot it at the 13. But Portis and Betts are running it together and running well.
Well, take a look at this cutback as he gets skinny through the hole. Watch him. He sits there, and there's the cutback lane right in here. Now, then he gets Coles here. He says, lead, follow, or get the heck out of the way. He pushes Coles forward and plows for a couple extra yards.
Randy Thomas's return to the offensive line has been a big factor. He may be their best offensive lineman all season long. Ramsey checking off at the line on first down. Throws outside. It's caught by Coles, and he's brought down at the 9-yard line. Will Allen covering on the play.
Boy, this has been very impressive drive by the Washington Redskins. Personnel groupings. They're running 3 players in and out of the huddle each and every time. They're switching backs. They've run different run plays. They've had the cutback. They've had the perimeter. They've had the counter play. They've had the lead play with Betts in there. They've had the play action. And New York Giants defensively are on their heels. They're playing defense on their heels, not on their toes.
2 tight ends in, 1 wide receiver. The play fake by Ramsey. He's got a man open, and he finds Brian Kozlowski down to the 1-yard line. First and goal, Redskins. Will Allen made the tackle, but the Redskins have moved from their own 7 to the Giants' 1.
Look at the confusion on Tom Coughlin's face. Did you see the confused look? There's the play action, and this is what the Redskins have been trying to get to, Sam, all year long.
Yes.
That's what they've wanted. If you have a successful running game, then your play action works brilliantly. They haven't had the success in the run game.
Sellers and Portis in the backfield on 1st and goal. It's Portis. It's a touchdown, Washington. Classic drive of 93 yards by the Washington Redskins. Great ground attack, mixed it up with some short passes. That was perfect.
I could have pulled that drive out of any NFL Films clip from the 1990s when Gibbs was winning his Super Bowls, and it would look identical, just the names would be different.
Clinton Portis with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. 13 plays, 93 yards. They had the ball for 7 minutes, 15 seconds. John Hall for the extra point. Redskins are on the board. The team that struggled to score all season long gets the ball and marches down the field with a great running attack, and Clinton Portis finishes it off. Redskins have the lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
Clinton Portis, 7 carries, 49 yards on that drive. Patrick Ramsey was 4 for 4, 33 yards. A lot of good short passes. And Liddell Betts added 12 yards on 2 carries. Nice mixture. Ramsey's got good confidence about him, and he's starting to get a good feel for the Joe Gibbs offense. John Hall kicks off. Derek Ward from the 14. Slips and is taken down by Pat Dennis at the 24-yard line. Washington Redskins are pumped up, trying to break a 3-game losing streak. They have the early lead.
What you just saw from Clinton Portis in that last drive came after his plea with his head coach Joe Gibbs. They talked this week to clear up his role, and Clinton Portis, when I told him he was going to get the ball a lot today, according to Redskin coaches, he said, that's news to me, but I'll be ready when I call my number. He expects it to be called a lot today. Sam, Bill?
Thanks, Chris. Giants start with their 2nd possession from the 24. Ike Hilliard in motion. Tiki Barber behind Jim Finn. He stopped. Joe Salavea. Wow. Excuse me, Cornelius Griffin. Cornelius Griffin, the former Giant, leading the way. And that's his 10th tackle for a loss this season.
I'm going to tell you, Griff is really something else. Check him out. Watch him right here. There's Griff. Look at the push he gets in the penetration into the backfield in the wrap-up. That is one heck of a man. And I'm telling you, in this system that he's playing in, different from what he was playing in, he just is allowed to get upfield and be explosive. He doesn't have to sit and read and react and play a 2-gap.
2nd and 11. Off the play fake, Manning pumps, throws short to Jim Finn by himself. He's surrounded by Redskins, gets up to the 27-yard line. Antonio Pierce makes the stop. Giants offense with Eli Manning at the helm against Atlanta and Philadelphia struggling. They've scored only 1 touchdown in the last 10 quarters coming into play today. 5 defensive backs in for the Redskins. Chris Clemens, number 57, a pass rusher, is in at defensive end.
That's him right there, Sam. Watch him. Watch him creep in.
Good
he's going to creep in, and now he's going to come on the blitz.
He's coming. The toss to Tiki Barber. And he's stuffed. He dropped for a loss. Back at the 26-yard line. Cornelius Griffin and Antonio Pierce.
You have got to open up your offense on 1st down. You cannot allow a young quarterback to face this blitzing defense. Greg Williams in this defense is a mastermind. This guy is a secret weapon, and his defense and his schemes, he'll confuse the best quarterbacks in the league. With a young quarterback, you've got to be more aggressive on 1st down.
Jeff Feagles to punt. James Thrash deep for the Redskins. Feagles gets it away. Thrash waves for a fair catch at the 28, but there's a flag down. And let's see, was it roughing the kicker or running into the kicker? That's a big difference.
5.
If it's 5, it won't be enough for a first down. And Fiegel's heading for the sideline. Waiting for Walt Coleman to get some instructions from the Giants side. They want to punt again.
Running into the kicker, number 23 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So the Giants choose to punt it again. Now it'll be a 4th and 2. And not a roughing call, which would have been 15. Saw the concern on Tom Coughlin's face. The St. Louis Rams have won. They've gone to 6-6. The Giants need to break their losing streak. Stay in the hunt in the wild card race. Bad kick by Fiegel's. Bounces at the 40 and rolls to a stop right at the 40. So the Giants tried again, and the Redskins got the advantage. Frustration for Tom Coughlin. Redskins are #1 in the NFC, #2 in the NFL in defense. Gotten off to a great start. You see they're strong against the rush, against the pass, everything. 3 and outs as they've stopped the Giants twice.
And the thing is, it's a bunch of guys. You know, 2 outstanding corners, an outstanding safety.
Clinton Portis cuts it back on first down, but he's dropped. Good play by Kendrick Allen, who just came into the game. Let's check out what the Eagles and Packers are doing. Let's go to JB.
Hey, Sam, take a look. The famous pair in Philadelphia, Donovan McNabb hooking up with Terrell Owens. Watch Terrell Owens move right here. You're not going to stop him. Into the end zone. His 14th touchdown. That's league leading. 1 shy of what Coach Andy Reid said is needed for him, Andy Reid, to wear tights at practice. Back to Sam Rosen.
I don't know who would look better in tight, JB or Andy Reid. Giants jumped offside. Portis gets back to the line of scrimmage.
William Joseph trying to jump the snap count there.
There's the
Offside, 97, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
They charge it to Kendrick Allen. Kendrick Allen, who was picked up by the Giants earlier this season off waivers, played with New Orleans last season. He's replaced Fred Robbins in the lineup. Allen goes 6'6", 315. 2 tight ends for the Redskins on 2nd and 5. Ramsey fires, and it's complete to Darnarian McCants for a first down at the Giants' 48-yard line.
Take out the little motion inside. Now you have a bunch. Now you have a flood route. See the 3 receivers? You have 1 deep on and out, 1 in the flat, and then 1 sit down right on the curl or hook. And that was McCants right there, just sat down in there, depending upon where the defensive back's playing him. Play action on the action. I mean, that's something that they haven't had all season long, that little pass.
Rod Gardner in motion, 3 wide receivers in. It's Portis with a big hole. Carlos Emmons on the stop at the Giants' 42. But the offensive line of the Redskins doing a nice job up front.
Boy, and I think you really said it. Randy Thomas, who's been injured for the most part of the year. Last couple games he's been out, he's been hurt. He came back in. Now watch that. See that cutoff block right there? That cutoff block was enough. When you split the defense in half like that, when you can cut the defensive tackles away from pursuit, that's where you get the team.
Ramsey puts it up, knocked down by Carlos Emmons, covering the tight end, Robert Royal.
That's what Carlos Emmons does well. He's a guy that plays, he's a strong side backer who plays over the tight end. And he mugs the tight end, basically. Lines up over top of him on the line of scrimmage, and he's got those long, rangy arms, and he can run with them all over the field. And he just stuck that arm out there right at the last minute. That's his MO every place he's been. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, the Giants couldn't wait to get him here for that reason there.
5 defensive backs for the Giants. Liddell Betts in the backfield for the Redskins on 3rd and 5. Ramsey sends everyone out. He's being rushed. Down he goes. William Joseph. He overpowered Corey Raymer. Got to the quarterback for the Giants' first sack of the game, and a big one for the Giants defense.
Well, William Joseph had a heck of a rush, no question about it. Watch the get off. He gets great penetration. But, you know, the thing about it is, too, is that pass play, when the Washington Redskins are forced into passing situations, their pass routes, in my opinion, just they take too long to develop.
Tom Tupa's first punt of the game. William Joseph with his second sack of the season. Ball bounces at the 18 and bounces out of bounds around the 15-yard line. There is a flag back near midfield. And we'll check that out. Too many men on the field. Redskins.
I think they had that last week, too. But it was on defense.
Ineligible downfield prior to the kick. 45 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
My apologies. Mike Sellers releasing too quickly on the punt. So the Giants will make them punt again. Sellers, one of the better special teams players on the Redskins. Mark Jones, number 89, deep for the Giants. Tom Tupa leading the NFC in punting with a 44.8-yard average. Line drive kick toward the corner. Jones at the 8-yard line. And the Redskins bring him down, and it's Mike Sellers there.
That was one heck of a punt. Between the numbers and the sidelines, had him pinned down in a covered swarm.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford. The next Ford Super Duty. Tougher, stronger, smarter. By Campbell's Chunky Soup. With big chunks of meat and veggies, it builds you up right. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. And by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
A lot of excitement here in Washington. That's Archie Manning watching his son Eli here on the road. Third possession for the Giants. This one starts from the 11. They have 2 yards total offense to 100 for the Redskins. Amani Toomer in motion. Off the play fake, Manning gets time, and he finds Ike Hilliard up at the 15-yard line.
There you go. There you go. That's what they need to do. They need to open up their offense more on first down. When the run game was getting suffocated like that, okay, you've got to open it up. And if they're going to suffocate you and play 8-man box and stuff the line of scrimmage, then you've got to get downfield. And now you're 2nd and 5. That's a great situation to be in. Much better than when they're 1st and 9, 2nd and 9.
Giants bring out 2 tight ends. Tiki Barber in the backfield. Marcellus Rivers motions. And it's Tiki Barber. Yeah, and there's that wall of the Redskins. Nothing there.
The Redskins knew that was coming. Good job. Watch them stack the line of scrimmage. Hey, they had 8 and 9 up in the box. It was absolutely ridiculous. They knew there was run formation. That's what they study all week long.
Giants offense continues to struggle. Redskins get on the board and lead the Giants 7-0. Welcome back to FedEx Stadium, where the Washington Redskins have a 7-0 lead on the Giants. And thus far, Redskins doing everything right, Bill.
Everything right, Sam. They're stuffing the line of scrimmage. They're shutting everything down. And offensively, they are personnel grouping. They're matching. They're moving people in and out. And they're just dominating the line of scrimmage.
And they show blitz. Manning out of the shotgun. They pick up the blitz. Manning throws, completes to Amani Toomer. There's a flag on the play.
And a flag.
The Redskins think that Toomer pushed off. We'll take a look. Pass was complete for enough for the first down.
Illegal contact, 21, the defense. A penalty, decline, automatic. The result of the play is a first down.
Fred Smoot called for the penalty, but it is declined. First down.
Well, just watch the hands and watch the yards. 5 yards. There's 5 yards. Hands all over him still. And that's the emphasis. And the emphasis has actually produced one heck of a lot of passing yards this year in the NFL.
Ryan Biscetti, number 73, and on the defensive line for the Redskins. Jamar Taylor motions. Tiki Barber goes outside. And a good run on first down, a hard hit as Tiki Barber knocked out of bounds. Let's find out what Peyton Manning did in Indianapolis today. JB?
Sam continued his torrid pace and assault on the record books. 3 touchdowns today, 2 of them here. He's got 44 in the season. That ties Dan Marino for second all-time. He's got 12 consecutive games with multiple touchdowns. That ties John Unitas for an all-time high. And oh, by the way, Indianapolis won. Back to Sam Rosen.
He and Eli spoke a couple of times this week. Tiki Barber, first down. Now Barber getting untracked with the running game after a 9-yard pickup on first down. He ends up across the 40. Let's go to Chris Myers along the sideline. Chris.
Yes, Sam, keeping an eye on Eli's performance, and he did tell us he talks Friday night and Sunday night, usually with his brother Peyton and, of course, his mom and dad during the week. But he said he doesn't really talk a lot of X's and O's. Basic brother conversation is what he said, although he did say that Peyton mentioned, hey, since he played Washington, give me a few pointers. We'll see how he holds up, and we'll see what he tells brother Peyton tonight after this one's over.
Thanks, Chris. First down, Giants at their own 42. Back-to-back first downs. Everybody out. Manning for Shockey. Shockey pulled down by Lamar Marshall, the linebacker, up the 47-yard line. First catch of the game for the Giants' leading receiver, Jeremy Shockey.
And there it is, first down again. You need to open it up. You need to get the shock man out into routes. And you see him matched up there against Lamar Marshall, and he can get the separation. Every team in the league is looking for a tight end along the lines of Shockey, Tony Gonzalez, Michaels down in Miami, Antonio Gates, Algie Crumpler. Here he is right here, because they can change a defense and how you have to defend the offense.
Tight ends in. Manning short drop, fires and completes it to Ike Hilliard for a first down at the Redskins' 44-yard line. Eli Manning is 6 for 6. Talking about Jeremy Shockey, he does lead the team in receptions, but it's been an up-and-down year for him, Bill.
Well, you know, because they've had to max protect so much. They've had so many problems in pass protection that he's been staying in and blocking. He's been lined up at fullback sometimes as a lead blocker, and it's really not his forte. This is a guy that stretches a defense down the seam and opens up plays on the outside, and I think that's how you have to use him.
Blitz coming. And nothing for Tiki Barber on first down.
And if you don't get anything on first down, you're going to put a young quarterback in a heck of a predicament. I mean, it's basically as simple as that. And you look at the teams around the NFL that have alleged struggling quarterbacks, and I think you find a common theme. It's where they rank on rushing the football. And how many yards per carry they can get. And if they can't get any, look at the opening drive for the Redskins and how great Ramsey looked at quarterback because of the play action set up by Clinton Portis.
A lot of movement on the defense by the Redskins on 2nd and 10. The play fake, Manning has time, nobody open. In trouble, being chased by Phillip Daniels, and he throws it away into the sideline.
And then again, see, you have second and long, okay? You have second and long, Sam. And so you keep max protection in. You keep max protection in, and you max everybody up. And there's only 2 receivers out in that route. We had a problem there with the replay tape, but there's only 2 receivers out in that route. He had 2 of his wide receivers out. Everybody else was in. And that's hard when you have 4 or 5 people defending downfield against only 2 receivers.
Redskins have 5 defensive backs in. It's 3rd and 10. Finn and Barber in the backfield to protect Eli Manning. Manning throws it. It's tipped. It's intercepted. No, and dropped. Walt Harris had it and dropped it. The pass was tipped. Ike Hilliard had a chance, but it went out of his hands, and then Walt Harris dropped it as well.
Well, I want you to watch. Shockey is in the route, and Shockey draws double coverage. They high-low him with the safety, and that actually opens up Ike Hilliard, okay? And that's what a tight end does for you. A good tight end in the middle of the defense he'll draw that double coverage, and that's why Ike Hilliard was open for a second. Bounced out of his hand, should have been caught.
Jeff Fiegel's third punt, high kick way up. James Thrash calls for a fair catch at the 12-yard line. So the Giants show a little life on offense. They got 3 first downs, but then the Redskins defense stiffens. There is a flag on the play at the Redskins 40-yard line. And it's against the Giants. Walt Coleman, the referee. We'll check things out, see what the Redskins want to do, and they want to move the Giants back.
Ineligible downfield prior to the kick. 57 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
James Maxwell, linebacker, was downfield. There he is, rookie linebacker. Left too soon, so Fiegels will punt again. Fiegels had one blocked last week by Philadelphia. Has plenty of time here, and again a good high punt. Thrash again, fair catch. This time he backs up inside his own 10-yard line.
Fair catch.
At the 9.
I don't know about that. They called for a fair catch and got hit after the catch. Didn't interfere with him.
Let's see.
There's a fair catch sign.
He's backing up and I don't know. Marginal. Fox is the place to turn to in February for 2 of the biggest sporting events of the year, the Daytona 500, the Great American Auto Race, and the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville. Joe Gibbs won the Daytona 500, his team. Redskins from the 9. Clinton Portis fighting his way through and busts loose. What an effort by Clinton Portis. It looked like it was stacked up for no gain. And he turns it into a big gain up to the 28-yard line, and he's over 1,000 yards for the 3rd consecutive season. He picked up 19.
Well, you know, he's in a low center of gravity. You've got to get him on the ground. You just can't take for granted that he's going to be out of the play when it's still there. Just because you're all piled up, you just can't take that for granted. You've got to get him on the ground, wrap him up.
10 carries, 73 yards for Clinton Portis. Throwing and completing for Lavernius Coles.
How about this?
Coles is over 60 catches this season for the 3rd consecutive year.
Redskins offense looking tremendous. This is the best they've looked all year. Really in sync. Their personnel changing on the sidelines. They're running 3 in. They're running 3 out. They're keeping Tim Lewis and that Giants defense on their heels. They're never sure what they're going to get.
This is an evaluation time for Patrick Ramsey. And Joe Gibbs brought in Mark Brunell with a big contract. Ramsey, the young quarterback in his 3rd year. It's a big, important time for him. Liddell Betts on first down. Good gain up to the 45-yard line. Carlos Emmons takes him down. Emmons playing a very active game thus far.
Oh, Sam, look at I'm talking about personnel groupings and being in sync. They run in 4 wide receivers. So now you've got, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you have 6 in the box, you run the football. It's first down. 4 wide receivers out on the field. The New York Giants automatically went to dime defense. Now you have 6 men in the box, and you run at them. And that's what they're doing. That's how they're getting their yards. The personnel matchup.
Here's Betts sweeping. Picks up a block from Randy Thomas and turns it into a good gain to the Giants 44. Carlos Emmons makes another tackle. JB's got an update on the Packers and the Eagles in Philadelphia. JB.
Not a good half so far for Brett Favre in Philadelphia, throwing his 2nd pick. They were threatening there. Brett Favre is 0-3 in Philadelphia, but the Eagles are up 7-0. That in the 2nd. Back to Sam Rosen and Bill Moss.
For the Packers, the good news is Minnesota lost in Chicago. Detroit and Chicago both winning. Clinton Portis in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for the Redskins on first down. Blitz coming. Ramsey got time going deep for Rod Gardner, and well covered by Will Allen on the play. Gardner caught a big bomb against the Giants in Week 2 in New York. There is a flag on the play.
You know, that's the shot.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, they have one on the other side of the field. Will Peterson.
Yes. Illegal use of the hands. And the ball be spotted at the Giants 39. Automatic first down.
This is the other side of the field, away from the play. Now it's past 5 yards. No question about it.
Chuck.
Away from the play.
Giants show blitz. Here they come. Portis runs it. No gain on the play. Kendrick Allen and Carlos Emmons combine on the tackle. And virtually every play we're calling Carlos Emmons. Emmons started the season slowly, coming back from the broken leg that he suffered about a year ago. But he has really picked it up. And his game is rounding into top form. 3 wide receivers for Washington. James Thrash is in. Ramsey off the play fake, throws and completes it to James Thrash at the 26-yard line. It's a first down for the Redskins. Curtis DeLoach covering on the play.
You know, when you blitz and you're in nickel, you've got to get there. I'm going to watch the weak side. 25, Will Allen's going to come into the picture right here. See, you've got to keep contained. He went for the play fake, and Patrick Ramsey on the bootleg gets outside him. That's beating the blitz. You had him dead to the rights if you didn't follow the run fake. But that's what the play does to you. That's what Clinton Portis is doing to this defense.
Here comes the blitz again, and Portis runs and has a good hole. As he gets down to the 20-yard line, he picks up about 6 on the play.
6 yards a clip. You'll take that.
He's averaging more than that.
You might want to find Joe Gibbs right now. I bet he has a smile on his face for the first time this year. 6 yards on a first down run play. Look how accurate Patrick Ramsey looks. Look how, compared to last week and in Philadelphia, when he looked just rattled and hurried, when they couldn't run the ball at all, and they were just blitzing him left and right.
Ramsey's 7 for 8. 4 wide receivers in for the Redskins. The fake toss, quick outside of Ron Gardner. Picks up a couple of blocks inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. Carlos Emmons, a one-man tackling machine for the Giants, but a 16-yard pickup for the Redskins.
Gardner is on the outside, but I want you to take a look at this gentleman right here, Chris Samuels. This is called a wide receiver screen. You're going to get a pitch fake. Then you're coming back and watch the screen develop. There's Samuels, and he's the one that springs that wide receiver screen wide open.
2 tight ends. Darnarian McCants is wide as it's 1st and goal. Redskins at the 4-yard line. Clinton Portis looking for some blocks, but Lance Legree grabbed hold of his leg and pulled him down. No gain on the play.
I'm telling you, Joe Gibbs is calling such a good game, along, of course, with the execution. Now, the execution hasn't always been there, and that's why it hasn't looked as good. But he's calling such a good game offensively, Sam. I sit here as a former defensive player, and I'm frustrated. He screens. You got the draws. You got the cutbacks. You have the pump fakes. You have the bootlegs, the play actions. I mean, what that does to a defender mentally is you don't know which way to go. You never get a flow to key in on something.
3 wide receivers in. Tight end Robert Royal is a wing, and now he goes in motion. Here's Ramsey. Pitch back. Touchdown, Clinton Portis. The little shovel pass to Portis.
I guess the only thing I left out of everything I said was shuffle pass. And there they was. Something unexpected, something they haven't seen, and it busted for a touchdown. Look at the frustration by Tom Coughlin.
2 good drives by the Washington Redskins.
Outstanding.
They are mixing it up beautifully. Patrick Ramsey getting a pat on the back from Mark Brunell. Clinton Portis having a big game. 2 touchdowns. It's a touchdown pass for Patrick Ramsey. The extra point by John Hall is good, the Washington Redskins, the team that has not scored more than 18 points in a game this season, leads 14-0.
Take a look at 77, the right guard. He's pulling on the trap. There's a shuffle pass right underneath him.
10 plays, 91 yards. Redskins score again. Joe Gibbs always spends a lot of time focusing on his special teams. Sean Taylor, the rookie out of Miami, has been a big addition. He flies down. Hall kicks off. Derek Ward, his first return was 34 yards. He trumps this one. His second was 10 yards. And this one, he fights his way across the 25, up close to the 28-yard line. Rock Cartwright made the tackle for the Redskins. Now the Giants have a long way to come back. Today's game is being seen around the world on Armed Forces Television. We want to send our best wishes to the men and women of the 22nd Area Support Group in Vicenza, Italy. We appreciate all you do for America.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Was that Sir Gusso on American Idol tryouts?
Don't go there.
I think it was. I think it was Goose.
Giants' fourth possession. They will start from the 27-yard line. And the Redskins fans alive. The Redskins have lost their last 4 home games after winning their first of the season. A 3-8 record, but off to a terrific start in this game. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Tiki Barber in the backfield, 7 carries, 16 yards.
Motion back out.
Here's Barber. And he's ridden down at the 28-yard line, picked up a yard on the play. Lamar Marshall was there for the tackle. Let's go to the sideline to Chris Myers.
Now, Redskin fans cheering on the defense, but it's the offense that has them buzzing. And Patrick Ramsey, even when he was backing up Brunell, wanted more deep pass plays. They went to Coach Gibbs this week in the offense, and they compromised. Gibbs said, well, at least put in more pass plays, not necessarily deep, but shorter pass plays. And then Clinton Porter said, that'll help me run the ball better. And with Randy Thomas back, we should have our say with our offense. Tim?
Yeah, the shorter pass plays have made Ramsey 9 for 10 in the game, 84 yards. Jamar Taylor in motion. Off the play fake. Manning looking to go deep for Taylor. He's out there. And it's off his fingertips.
Nice
incomplete.
Heck of a play.
Sean Springs covering on the play. Manning and Taylor hooked up for 2 50-yarders last week. That one just missed.
Well, they stack the line of scrimmage and they come after him. They come after him hard, and it's man protection downfield. See, everybody's manned up. And when you go man to man, you feel as a defense that your defensive backs are better than their wide receivers, because they just stacked the line of scrimmage, whether it was run or pass. It didn't matter. They were coming. Play clock ran down. The play clock ran down to under 2 seconds. Giants had to burn a timeout.
A lot of noise, some confusion on a 3rd and 9. Giants call a timeout, trailing by 14. Joe Salavea is on the bench for the Washington Redskins. He's got a leg problem. Philip Daniels has got a problem. He's just back after missing the last 3 games. He's missed 7 games this season. In fact, he's only played 2 full games, and he's holding his arm through to his stomach as he heads off. Giants a 3rd and 9. Ron Warner, number 94, is in on the defensive line for the Redskins. Taylor showing blitz. Sean Taylor, he comes. Flag on the play, and they blow it dead. Looks like a false start on the Giants.
Prior to the snap, false start, 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Jean-Luc Pettigrew, the left tackle.
Well, look who he was over, too. Sean Taylor, watch him come in and out of here. Sean Taylor goes up, then back, up and back. And watch what 77's looking at. He's taking a look. You see him flinch. He can't hear. The crowd noise is loud. He knows blitz is coming his side. He doesn't know whether he's going to get a defensive end to the outside or Sean Taylor, a speed rusher on the outside.
Ron Dane and Jim Finn in the backfield for the Giants on 3rd and 14. Manning operates out of the shotgun. Blitz coming. There was some holding on that one, but nothing called. Dane is tackled at the 31-yard line.
Well, at that time they showed blitz and then bailed out of it, just stayed with a 4-man rush. And what it did is it confused the protection a little bit. And one of the guys they have in there, since Sayavi's out now, and also Philip Daniels, one of the down linemen that they're using who looks like he's lined up at linebacker is Chris Clemens, 57. And he's the one who's been rushing on the outside.
4th punt of the game for Jeff Beagles. Chris Clemens got in there. Looked like Jim Finn grabbed a hold of his jersey. Big rush and a block it. And the Giants recover, but a block for the Washington Redskins. And Beagles has now had one block in successive weeks.
Check out
Taylor Jacobs got there for the block. He blocked one in Detroit a month ago.
Walt Harris, 27, perfect.
Oh.
He dives across Sam. Watch him extend his arm, lays flat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
In the middle of that battered Giant defense is Kevin Lewis, middle linebacker number 59 from Duke, who studied African-American history, thought he might end up being a lawyer. Then when he saw his friends get drafted, said, I can do that. Ended up in the NFL. And because he's such a history buff and watches the History Channel, he said he relates well to Tom Coughlin and his speeches and his expressions. He kind of knows where Coughlin is going by the end of the conversation. Sam, Bill?
He's been a good success story for the Giants.
And he just ran off the field because Washington Redskins came out with 3 wide receivers.
Redskins go from the Giants 31. Clinton Portis gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe picked up a yard on the play.
And that's what Washington's doing. Watch the personnel groupings. Look at the sidelines. In and out. In and out. That's what they do. Cooley comes in now, and one of the wide receivers comes out.
Thrash comes out.
Thrash comes out, and that's what they do. Now, Giants have to match up with that personnel-wise, because Cooley can line up at tight end. He can line up at fullback. He can line up at slot receiver.
Giants have Reagan Upshaw in the game at defensive end. He was just signed early this week. He played with the Redskins all of last season. He started 8 games for them. Here's Portis. Finds the hole, gets through inside the 25 as he's closing in on 100 yards for the game.
Boy, has Randy Thomas made a big difference in their running. Oh, yeah.
And a gutsy effort by Randy Thomas. He was hurt 2 weeks ago, and they thought he'd be out 4 weeks.
He wasn't supposed to play. And he says his hamstring's all black and blue, and he said he got on the treadmill, and he told Coach Gibbs this week, I want to go. I think I can go. I need to go. You guys need me to go, and it's paying off today.
Redskins with a 14-0 lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SBC. Going beyond the call.
Doubleheader next week on Fox. Giants, another tough one in Baltimore. New Orleans will be at Dallas. Late game, the Lions and the Packers. It all starts with Fox NFL Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, presented in Fox Sports High Definition. Redskins, 3rd and 3.
Empty backfield.
At the 25.
And Portis goes back.
Portis 15 carries, 86 yards. Wide receiver screen. Nice move by Coles. And he's down to the 15-yard line. He slipped a tackle. Curry Burns, number 29, made the stop. But a first down for the Redskins at the Giants 14.
Boy, are they getting into a groove of what they want to do. They are dictating the tempo of this game by personnel groupings and plays. Inside, outside, run, shuffle pass, screens. It's really devastating to a defense. If you don't shut down what they do initially when you have a run game, these are all the things that can come off the run game.
2 tight ends in. Clinton Portis carries, cut it back nicely inside the 10. Close to the 8-yard line.
You know, so many teams blame the quarterback for what the team is doing, for how they're doing. And it's really unfair because, you know, they've got their run game going. This is the best they've looked all year in running the ball. And then off of that, look at all the other things that you can do when you have a successful running game.
On on 2nd and 5 at the 9-yard line. The play fake, Ramsey rolling.
Tight end.
Looking into the end zone. Throws.
There he is.
And the catch is made. Touchdown, Robert Royal.
Is he the tight end?
He is the tight end.
He had him open a lot earlier, and Ramsey saw it. By the time he saw it, he felt it was too late, so he waited on it until he got open again.
Robert Royal with his first touchdown of the season. And this is the most points the Redskins have scored in a game this season. For the first time, they have hit 20. 18 had been their previous high. They cash in off the block punt. Patrick Ramsey with his second touchdown pass. Robert Royal caught it, and the Redskins lead 21-0. Plenty of time for Ramsey. And the throw, Royal goes down to the ground and makes the catch. The second-year tight end out of LSU, Robert Royal, with his first NFL touchdown catch. A 9-yarder.
That's his 4th catch of the year. 4th. And you know what Joe Gibbs is doing is utilizing everybody that's out there. People that you don't think that have been a part of things. Ramsey's getting them all involved, and it's all an extension of the run game.
8 different receivers he's hooked up with in this game.
Outstanding. And I can't emphasize enough. If you look around the league, you know, everybody gets criticized if their quarterback's no good when the team's losing. Well, it's deeper than that.
Hall kicking off to Derek Ward, who backpedals to the 2-yard line, drops the ball. Comes back, got tripped up and buried at the 15. The Giants are without Willie Ponder, who is 2nd in the NFL in kickoff returns. He's out with a back injury. For Eli Manning, it's a learning process. He's had some bad moments in recent weeks with interceptions, and he's had some good moments when he's run for a first down and thrown some good passes down the field.
Yeah, he showed some composure against the blitz, and you know, he's getting scrutinized, just what I'm talking about, like Ramsey was, and of course like Kurt Warner was, and also Mark Brunell. If you can't get a consistent run game going, it's hard for things to open up downfield.
Ron Warner and Brandon Noble in on the defensive line for the Redskins, who are without Philip Daniels and Joe Salavea. They were injured. Tiki Barber on first down. Nothing there. And that's back to the line of scrimmage.
And right there's a prime case. Now you have 2nd and 9. And your quarterback's facing this blitzing crazy defense. It's tough. It's like being mad at the mailman, Sam, if he doesn't bring you mail. You know? And that's what quarterbacks, that's what they suffer from on losing teams. When you look a little further into it, you find other problems.
Quick out to Ike Hilliard, and the Redskins are there. Cornelius Griffin, the former Giant, with another wrap-up and hard tackle. And we've reached the end of the first half. An offensive explosion for the Washington Redskins, and Joe Gibbs has got to love it. The Visa halftime report with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy are coming up. The Redskins, 2 long drives, then a blocked punt, and they moved it in for another touchdown pass. Lead the Giants 21-0.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
All right, as we welcome you to the Visa Halftime, good news, Cotton Bowl matchup, New Year's Day, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Fox. It will be Tennessee taking on Texas A&M, and I know you guys are
the Aggies. I got a nephew that graduated from A&M. I got family from Sparta, Tennessee.
The Aggie band. Dun, 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 dun,
oh, he loves the fight song.
Oh, great fight song.
It's the best fight song ever.
All righty, whoa, is this a misprint here?
No. First time this year, JB, Redskins. They've scored over 20 points, over 18 points.
Wow.
For that matter. All right, here we go. Donovan McNabb. It's actually the Donovan McNabb show. Out of the pocket, feels the pressure, deep crossing route. I believe one of our guys here wanted to say that on the pregame show. They just didn't get it on the air, but that's a 41-yard score. Teal, way to go, 7-0. It is Philadelphia. Then a little screen pass or a little drop-off pass or a swing pass. Westbrook takes it in. Touchdown screen. Okay, 14-0. That's the teamwork up here. Philadelphia 14-0. McNabb again, motion. T.O. down the middle, takes 3 people with him, out in the flat, down the sideline, otherwise an out and up. Touchdown. Holy cow. Someone tell me it ain't true. 21-0. 2 Brett Favres in the first half has not helped the Packers cause at all.
LaDainian Tomlinson's 2 touchdowns, the difference in that contest. Look at the Raiders, 20-7. Chiefs are looking to snap a 4-game losing streak, but the Raiders are looking good. Bears, 4th consecutive victory over the Vikings at home. And the Buccaneers, what we said, hey, why were they favorites in that? That's why 27-0 spanking Vic, a career high 4 turnovers. Rams without Marshall Faulk get it done against the 49ers. And the Panthers, Jimmy Johnson has been saying it. John Fox, nice job. 4 straight now.
4 straight, that's right. Cardinals, Lions, Joey Harrington coming back, having a nice day. Lions win that game. Jets and Chad Pennington, he's back 29-7. And, of course, the Patriots. Is there a better team in the AFC?
Maybe the NFL, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, is there a better quarterback around than Peyton Manning?
No, there is
3
not.
touchdown tosses on a day. TB, take a look at the numbers.
That's pretty impressive. 44 touchdown passes through 12 games. Now he's only 4 shy of Ty Marino's record. By the way, Marino had, 32 touchdown passes the year he set the record through 12 games. So already ahead of his pace by 12 touchdowns.
Bengals over the Ravens and the Bills over the Dolphins. Jimmy, I was asking, misprint for Washington? Wow.
The most efficient they have played all year long. Ramsey, who should have been in there all year long, 11 of 12. Portis rushing for 90 yards. And the one thing that has been steady the entire year, that defense, holding New York to 3 first downs.
Well, and Eli Manning's got to be saying to himself, is this a scheduling glitch? I mean, I get Philadelphia last week, complex, multi-blitzing. And this week I get Washington, Greg Williams coached defense, and their offense is scoring points, which means they're basically impossible to deal with.
You didn't like Jimmy Johnson's comment about Patrick Ramsey?
I like Ramsey.
It's just so easy to say right now. I'd like to have heard that earlier in the year.
Wow. Visa halftime continues after this.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
We are outside of Washington, D.C., where the Washington Redskins lead the New York Giants 21-0, getting set for the second half of this game. Now for the Giants, Coach Tom Coughlin has said all along that Eli Manning was his quarterback, so I don't expect a quarterback change. Would you, Bill?
I don't see why you wouldn't, actually. I mean, you have to be careful with a young quarterback, and he's seen a lot, and it's been tough. When you play Philadelphia, Pittsburgh defense, and the way Washington's playing him, stuffing the run and then blitzing them, I don't know what good you can get out of it. There's a lot of young quarterbacks in the history of the NFL that get taken in the first round, early in the first round. They end up getting ruined because of situations like this, in my opinion. Now, he might want him to sit in there and grow and learn and see all the things. But I don't think it builds confidence. And I think that's the one thing a quarterback has to have is confidence. And you see the confidence that Ramsey's playing with right now, and that's due to a productive run game and all the other things that open up off of it. I don't know what good it would do to leave him in if it gets any more out of hand.
And Kurt Warner, who doesn't expect to see much playing time unless Eli Manning gets injured, trying to cheer on his mates. Steve Christie kicks off to start the second half. James Thrash backs up to the 3. Thrash slips one man, and a good tackle, the ankle tackle made by Curtis DeLoach, brings him down. Let's go to Chris Myers along the sideline.
Yeah, Sam, you and Bill, I asked Tom Coughlin about that. He said, no, Eli Manning is the kind of guy who can bring us back. But Coughlin, very upset at halftime, said we came in trying to stop the run, knowing we needed to against this Redskin team, and we just haven't done it. As for Joe Gibbs, he said he'll continue to shuttle in many people on offense. He's happy with that. Greg Williams passed by and said, we're going to keep blitzing the rookie quarterback. It's working for us. Sam, Bill?
Thanks, Chris. Patrick Ramsey, 11 for 12, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Clinton Portis, 16 carries, 90 yards. Rushing, here's Portis. Finds a good hole across the 40 to the 42.
Look at him go. Sam, Clinton Portis today has been like a lead cat on a dog sled team. Everybody's trailing him. Every time he hits the line of scrimmage, everybody's running behind him, chasing after him.
See the Giants, Tiki Barber.
Only a 100-yard difference here.
Shut down.
Just 100 yards difference.
Tiki Barber's been all everything for the Giants offensively, and the Redskins came into the game looking to shut him down. They've done just that. 2nd and 2. Here's Here's Portis with another good hole, and he's got a first down up to the 46-yard line. So Clinton Portis has now gone over 100 yards for the 4th time this season.
I'll take a look at the numbers today, and the middle is really where Clinton Portis in the running game, the Washington Redskins have been getting their yards. And it's not designed like straight at the middle. It's not like they're calling a 3-hole or a 2-hole run, but it's all the cutback that comes off of setting up the defense.
Giants have Reagan Upshaw in it right
as in here.
Ben Portis cutting it back, and he makes a couple of yards on the carry up to the 48-yard line.
You know, when Clinton Portis was in Denver, you have a good vision of him, and you think middle runs. But in actuality, it was this. It was a start to the right or start to the left, and it's 1 or 2 steps, and then he cuts it and he takes it straight downhill. And today he's been able to do that. He'll start it one way, 1 or 2 steps, and then hit it right down the middle as soon as he sees the defensive linemen and linebackers over pursuit.
On second down, it's Portis again. And this time he's hit as he crosses midfield, got close to the 48-yard line. The middle linebacker, Kevin Lewis, made the stop. Clinton Portis was very disappointed last week in Pittsburgh when Joe Gibbs went away from the run.
Oh, but Sam, they were averaging like 0.8 yards a carry. I mean, what happened to them in Pittsburgh is what's happening to the Giants in their run game today.
There's 3rd and 4. Everybody out. Ramsey outside of Portis. Good tackle by Terry Cousin. Short of a first down. The Giants do a good job defensively. And will get the ball as Tom Tupa will punt for the 2nd time in the game. Mark Jones is deep. Giants hopes of making a run in the NFC for a playoff spot fading fast. Jones lets it bounce and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants need a big comeback in this game. They have lost 4 in a row. The Rams won earlier.
Fox NFL Sundays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
Greg Williams has done an outstanding job as the assistant head coach in charge of defense for the Washington Redskins.
Greg Williams is one heck of a defensive coach, and he's a guy that I believe will be another head coach in this league.
Giants start from the 20. They've had only 3 first downs in the game. They all came on one drive. Tiki Barber fights his way for 3 yards. Ronaldo Wynn on the stop. Philip Daniels still out for Washington with a wrist sprain. This was only the 5th game he's played in all season. He's only finished 2 games. He was just coming back from a groin injury. Joe Salavea is on the sideline. Looks like he could return. And Fred Smoot, who had a wrist injury, is in the game. Barber and Finn in the backfield for the Giants. Shockey is out wide right. Now comes in motion toward the line. Manning feels pressure. Chased by Washington, and Warner throws, almost intercepted by Sean Springs.
Flag down.
Pass intended for Amani Toomer. You see the call against the Giants for holding.
Holding, 66, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's David Deal, the right tackle. If you joined us late, Chris Snee, the starting right guard, the rookie out of Boston College, who's played very well on the offensive line, unable to go today. Woke up with a gland problem, swollen gland, in severe pain and unable to go. Wayne Lucier playing right guard. Ball back to the 13-yard line. The toss to Barber. Redskins just swarm them under at the 15-yard line. Fred Smoot coming out of the pile. Cornelius Griffin has had a strong game.
They're just trying to, the Giants are just trying to slow down what Washington's doing to him. Washington's defense and their coordinator are so honed in on everything the Giants are doing before they snap the ball. Sam, they know exactly what they're doing by formation. They blitz at the right time. They set pressures at the right time. They know run from pass. And here they come again.
Finn and Barber in the backfield went out. Manning drops it off to Finn. Fred Smoot right there. Finn trying to get away. But the combination of Smoot and Washington take down Jim Finn. And the Giants will be forced to punt. Great numbers by the Redskins defense today.
1 of 5 on third down is directly supported by that. When you have 2.3 yards a carry, you're going to create 3rd and 4 or more. And that's a huge problem.
Beagle's 5th punt of the game. He's had 1 block. And the Redskins turn that into 7 points. Good high punt. James Thrash at the 34. Got by 1 man, trying to get outside. And Ron Dane, who's been seeing a lot of action on special teams in recent weeks, gets down the field and makes the tackle. 47-yard punt, 3-yard return. The Redskins in control right outside our nation's capital.
Washington's success today directly proportionate with their run game. And you look around the league at the top 5 quarterbacks by rating, and look who they have running the ball behind them. And that running success really helps out a quarterback. I'm telling you, Sam, without a ground game, the only thing that's left is air. And when a defense knows it's air, it's easy to deflate.
Lavernius Coles, the quick toss from Patrick Ramsey. Gets up to the 46-yard line, picks up 7 on first down. 5th catch of the game for Lavernius Coles. Will Allen made the stop. But it's been a real good mixture. Patrick Ramsey has kept it under control. He hasn't gone deep too often.
You don't have to. You pick and choose your passes off the play action. You have the defense honed in to stop the run, and then you play action off of it.
And here's Portis on 2nd down. He's got a 1st down into Giants territory at the 49-yard line. As they continue to move the ball well, we'll move down to the field to Chris Myers.
Sam, for a quasi-playoff contender, the Giants are not putting forth their best effort. Jeremy Shockey said during the week, remember, that this team lacked confidence and that morale was low. Tom Coughlin told me he didn't agree with that. He did tell Shockey to keep that stuff internally, but when you talk to the players, they seem to agree more with Shockey than their coach, and certainly at the half, Coughlin seemed more confident than his players about a comeback.
Jeremy Shockey only 1 catch in the game. Here's Clinton Portis, and got no gain, maybe a yard on the play. Clinton Portis 114 yards rushing in the game.
Well, you know what, Chris Myers, a coach sometimes you have to look at things through rose-colored glasses. But when the players are on the field of battle, they know and they feel how a game is going. And they know whether they're dictating the tempo of the game or having it dictated to them. And the Giants players have to know, because I know that you know watching, and I know that you know calling the game, Sam, that Washington's dictating the tempo of this game.
Ramsey throws outside, leaping grab by James Thrash for a 1st down. Thrash is the versatile receiver. He's got good moves, and he can catch it. 14-yard pickup for Washington today. Clinton Portis has finished off the drives. There was a 93-yard drive and a 91-yard drive. And then the pass to Robert Royal for his 1st NFL touchdown reception. Here's Portis. Nick Bryson makes the stop at the 35-yard line. Clinton Portis had been held to 54 yards by Philadelphia and Pittsburgh over the last 2 weeks.
Out comes 3 wide receivers, and in comes Cooley, Kozlowski, and Royal. So you have 2 tight ends, an H-back, fullback tight end in Cooley, and one wide receiver here on 2nd and 10. You can do whatever you want out of this formation.
Ramsey tosses to Portis, who uses his speed to get outside and is inside the Giants' 30 to the 28-yard line. Terry Cousin chased him out.
And another new wrinkle. We've seen a lot of little wrinkles and a lot of personnel groupings and a lot of people touching the football. Here you have an overload to this side with eye backs. You would think it would be run that direction. Well, the line runs that way, they block that way, and so does the defensive lineman, so does the linebackers, and it's a little flip out the back door to Portis.
On 3rd and 3, Liddell Betts comes into the backfield. Rod Gardner motions. And Ramsey with time throws, and it's tipped by Will Peterson. Knocks it away from Lavernius Coles, the intended receiver. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Redskins, and they will send on the field goal kicking unit.
Well, when you have one receiver to that side, they're going to roll coverage. You see the safety coming over the top?
Yes.
There's a little hole right there in the defense. That was Curry Burns, 29. There was a safety. And there's a little hole in that cover 2 defense when you roll the safety over the top. And Ramsey tried to force it in there. The ball got tipped.
John Hall, 46-yard field goal try. Tupper, the holder. And the kick on the way. And it hooks inside the post. John Hall with a season-long 46-yarder. He's 8 for 10 on the season. Came back from an injury last week. That was a good kick. The defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers have come alive. They won their 4th in a row. They've gone from 1-7 to 5-7. They're in the hunt for a wild card spot in the NFC. The Saints really in trouble. They've dropped to 4-8. Panthers, a good win in New Orleans, will be home against St. Louis next week. John Hall kicks off. Derek Ward at the 7. Ward fought off one block. He's got open room. He burst by John Hall, being chased. Derek Ward. Touchdown, Giants. A terrific run back of 92 yards by Derek Ward, filling in for the injured Willie Ponder.
Sam, it was a heck of a run. I'm going to tell you, the wedge opened that thing up, and it was set up nice by Ward, but there was a blatant block in the back on Rock Cartwright to make the tackle on Ward right as they crossed over the 50-yard line.
The extra point by Steve Christie is good. The Giants get on the board. They have some life. After being down by 24, Derek Ward with the big kickoff return.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By the new Singular, raising the bar. By new M3 Power from Gillette. Feel the power of the world's best shave. And by Burger King, who remind you to have it your way.
I'll tell you, the kickoff return, I want you to take a look at these guys right here. Watch what happens. They get walled to the inside. Jason Doring, 35, gets just pushed out of the way, and that push and that move to the inside is what kicked open that wall. The returns are about staying in your lanes if you're in coverage.
Liddell Betts on the return for the Redskins, and he's brought down at the 28-yard line. Reggie Torbor was there for the Giants. 20-yard return. Giants are on the board. Redskins with a big lead.
Redskin backup Mark Brunell played for Tom Coughlin in Jacksonville for 8 years. They had success. He said he was demanding and not that intense a guy during the offseason. He said if Eli Manning wants advice about Coughlin, listen to what he tells you. He'll be tough on you, but he'll have your best interest at heart, and you'll be better for it. Sam, Bill?
Thanks, Chris. Redskins start from the 28-yard line. Rod Gardner in motion. Giants come with a blitz. Clinton Portis trying to take it outside and is brought down from behind by Fred Robbins, the defensive tackle.
Well, I think what Tom's trying to do is exactly what Joe Gibbs has been trying to do in Washington, and that is establish a consistent running game, looking for a core group of guys that he knows what he's going to get out of them. I think he's still feeling his way with David Deal and Sean O'Hara, who is primarily a guard in Cleveland. Jason Whittle gets moved back in. Chris Snee, a young guy. I think he's just trying to get a feel for who he's got and how to use it.
Portis cuts it back. A flag comes flying in from downfield. Fred Robbins on the stop on Clinton Portis, and we'll check out the flag. Portis with an outstanding game, 25 carries, 125 yards.
Personal foul, crackback, 88, offense, 15-yard penalty, still second down.
That's on the tight end, Robert Royal. It's one position that I think Joe Gibbs has talked a little bit about, maybe upgrading down the line.
Well, he's split outside and he's off, and he goes down and he throws his below the waist there. And when you can get away with that if you're the end man on line of scrimmage, but when you're split out and you're displaced from the end of the line, it's a little bit more glaring. You now become a wide receiver, and below the waist would be crack left.
Redskins have to get to the 38 for a first down. 3 wide receivers in. Crash motions, and Royal resets. Liddell Betts on the delay, good hole. Betts runs hard, fights his way up to the 30-yard line. Picked up 10 on that carry. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Liddell Betts, a nice change of pace back for the Redskins.
Yeah, he is, but look, the shifting and the motion. Watch, Sam. They're going to pick the tight end up. He's going to come over. The wide receiver's going to come over. Now look at these guys. They all move. He taps them on the butt. Move, get down. And then all of a sudden they come back and bring the strength this way. Now watch, the linebacker's out of place. He runs way over the top because he's trying to hurry up to get there. That's what all the shifting and motion does, and the change of strength, how it just toys mentally with the defense.
On the 3rd and long, the Redskins called timeout. The Redskins with a 24-7 lead.
Wow, looks nice. So your electric bill's going to be a little higher this month, just like your family's wireless bill. Well, relax. Only Sprint got rid of ugly overages for families. Take a look.
Protect your family from ugly overages. Now, 100 extra minutes only cost $5. Other plans charge at least $35, and unlimited Sprint PCS to PCS calling is included.
And with the money you save, maybe this could be a year-round thing.
Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
NFL on Fox next week. Pre-game show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Giants are in Baltimore, New Orleans at Dallas. Late game, Detroit at Green Bay. Now on 3rd and 8 for the Redskins. Liddell Betts in the backfield. Giants have 6 defensive backs in. Gardner motions. Ramsey steps up and fires. Leaping catch is made. A first down for the Redskins up near midfield. Lavertius Coles made the grab, and he's hurting. And he limps to the sideline.
I pointed out that 3-man rush in the beginning here, and when you have a 3-man rush, your quarterback's going to have all day. Look at the pocket. Look at the time he has to wait for your receiver to come open. That is beautiful.
First play of 20 yards or more in the game for the Redskins. It's a first down at midfield. Coles has had a strong game. Clinton Portis turns it upfield across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Kevin Lewis makes the stop. Portis picked up 7 on the play.
Wow, Lance Legree's in there playing, Sam, and he's a guy that he had to step up because of the injuries. But watch the double team here and watch what they do. Here's Royals, and watch this. Look at the motion, look at the push. Then they get up on the linebacker, and that's where you get the double team push. It pushes you right back into the linebacker's lap. And when you defensive linemen end up on the linebacker's lap, you better believe you're going to have big yards.
Two tight ends in. Portis carries behind Randy Thomas for another Redskins first down to the 38-yard line. The Redskins have now run for 178 yards in the game. They are over 300 yards total offense.
And they're really hitting the perimeter. Here's Kozlowski. Here's Royal on the down block. There's the seam. Cooley on the lead block. Randy Thomas up inside. Where's John Riggins?
He's ready. He's ready. First down, Washington. Blitz coming. The play fake. Ramsey rolls. Being chased. Flag on the play. Ramsey throws for Cooley. He's got it. Cooley being chased by Alexander goes in. But let's check out the flag.
That was a heck of a play. I'm going to tell you, the blitz came. Bryson came. He came on the blitz, and it looked like a play fake. And I think he got held.
Holding, 52, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
The center, Corey Raymer, and negates what would have been a great play for a touchdown. And that will bring it back. You see him shaking his head in dejection.
Well, take a look right in here. This is where your hold's going to come. See that? There's your hold.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the blitz, and that was the thing. And Corey wasn't expecting the blitz. He was just carrying out the play. That was the hard sell to the left, like the zone blocking, the stretch play that Portis is having success on. So they went to fake that, and he got caught a little off guard. He didn't expect the linebacker blitzing.
The Redskins are running their 52nd play of the game. The Giants have had only 24. Another timeout called by Patrick Ramsey.
I don't believe they had enough men on the field.
They've used 2 timeouts here in the third quarter.
Personnel groupings, I think they got confused.
President may be watching this.
All right, check it out. The new Sheepinator from Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
That's my mom. Dude, I'm so sorry. Dude, that's my mom.
Sheepinator. Yet another weapon not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
And that's the thing, when you're doing all that shifting and personnel movements, you got to stay real close to the head coach or the offensive coordinator on the sidelines who's ever calling the plays, because you've got to run in, run out, run in, run out. And that time, they came up to the line of scrimmage. They only had 10 men.
First down at the 48. It's 1st and 20. Redskins over 29 minutes time of possession. Giants just 14 minutes. Screen pass, Clinton Portis had a backtrack, picked up a block. Look at him weave his way through a couple of tackles, gets inside the 40. Some bad tackling, but some beautiful moves by Clinton Portis. Terry Cousin finally brought him down at the 38. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
You know, I think up to this point in the season, the Champ Bailey-Clinton Portis trade was kind of a push. Either one of them were doing real well. The teams weren't doing exactly what they thought they would do, and neither one of those two guys were actually playing to what their expectations were with that dollar figure. But today, this trade's looking really good on behalf of the Redskins.
You talk about the run setting up the pass, but I think Ramsey's passing is helping Clinton Portis as well. I think Crudell struggled, and that hurt Clinton Portis. That pass, another leaping grab, this time by Ron Gardner. Well, the Redskins receivers have made some good catches.
Well, they've got, you talk about confidence, you talk about the comment Shockey made. Well, the confidence is completely gone out of the Giants defense. They don't have any confidence, and the Redskins have it all. The Redskins feel as though they can do anything right now. Normally, they would have been 2 drop balls. You saw that he had to get it the second time he had to catch it. Coles, when he went up in the air, he bobbled in the air, he had to catch it. They're catching balls that in prior weeks would have been dropped.
Well, they were 2nd in the league coming in today in drop passes, but they worked heavily on it during the week. Flags fly on the carry. Liddell Betts.
Reagan Upshaw.
They are wearing down the Giants defense.
Reagan Upshaw, I believe, tried to jump the snap count there. And when you're trying to jump the snap count, Sam, defensively, you're trying to make something happen because you're getting beat. You're getting beat in the run game. You're not getting pressure on the quarterback. So you try to jump the snap count as a defensive lineman to get penetration and blow things up in the backfield.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down. That is the end of the third quarter.
So the Redskins get 5 on the offside. It's been a tough day for Tom Coughlin and the Giants. The Redskins have a 24-7 lead going into the fourth quarter.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Fox welcomes you back to FedEx Field with the Redskins leading. Bill Moss, Sam Rosen speaking about the Redskin wide receivers who had problems dropping the ball. It was a Joe Gibbs point of emphasis this week. Rod Gardner told me he stayed every day after practice catching 100 balls more. Said mostly it was a mental thing with the receivers and something else. Early in the year they were used to Mark Brunell, the left-hander, throwing a lighter ball, where since Patrick Ramsey took over as the starter, a right-hander, he throws a much harder pass and the ball tails in and is different. He said it's a minor thing, but it's something the receivers had to think about. Now they're obviously more comfortable. Gardner said he prefers the right-hander, Ramsey, at quarterback.
And the right-hander has a 1st and 5 at the Giants' 22. Clinton Portis gets down the 21-yard line, picked up a yard on the play. The Washington Redskins have gone over 300 yards total offense for only the first time in the last 6 games, only the 4th time this season. They're at 339 yards total offense as they have put it together. Outstanding running game and the accurate passing game of Patrick Ramsey, who's 17 for 19. 2nd and 4. Ramsey. The blitz was picked up. The pass intended for Rod Gardner, broken up by Will Allen. Clinton Portis, who has run the ball today 28 times.
And a win here. And look at the numbers of the last 3 weeks. And those were all losses. And that's what they really needed to get back to. And they've done an outstanding job with personnel groupings and style of plays, the type of plays that they're running with them.
On 3rd down with 3 wide receivers, they hand it to Portis. He squirts through the hole, gets a first down. Down at the 13-yard line. Looked like he went underneath everybody.
Well, it kind of got a little combobulated in there a little bit, but it was the counter tray. They pull the backside guard and tackle, and that's the old Washington Redskins play. Watch these guys. Here they come around this way, and Portis follows them. And he's trying to look for that split right there. But the little guy just ducks his head when he gets in that traffic and just keeps plowing forward.
First down at the 13. 2 tight ends in. Another good drive by the Redskins. This one started at the 28-yard line. There'll be an offside as Ramsey went down, but Osi Umenyiora jumped as he tried to time the snap. He'll be whistled for a flag.
Offside. 72. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You know, these battered defensive linemen, like you talked about coming in, Osi Umenyiora, Sam, has been forced to play more. He's now a starter. You've had the injuries. They missed Norman Hand in there tremendously today.
Against the run.
Oh, my, Norman Hand was a big run stuffer. And where they're attacking, right in there off the guard area, the guard tackle area, that's normally where he fills in. And they had to go out and just sign guys. Reagan Upshaw, they just signed this week, and he's primarily playing every single down.
1st and 5. Portis trying to cut it back. Giants are there to drop him at the 8-yard line. And Reagan Upshaw is playing with wristbands that have the plays on them.
Yeah, he does, actually. You don't see this too much. On his left arm right here, those are all the nickel and dime blitzes. And then on this arm over here, that's all the base defensive calls. So left arm, he has to look for all the nickel and dime defenses. Watch. Kevin Lewis is calling the plays. He looks. He comes in. Now he calls the huddle. Watch. He knows this defense. He didn't have to look down.
And this defense is get the quarterback.
Well, it probably says that on every one of those.
On second down, blitz coming. The play fake by Ramsey. They're after him. Got it away to Chris Cooley at the 6-yard line. They'll mark his forward progress. Kevin Lewis made the stop. Chris Cooley's an interesting story. 3rd-round draft pick out of Utah State, who is developed into a versatile tight end, H-back, fullback, little of everything. But here's a kid that when he was a little guy watched John Elway, he wanted to be another John Elway. To go in the backyard after watching the Broncos and make the plays. Well, and he always won back in the backyard.
I think every kid wants to be a quarterback. And it's somewhere along the path of your career, coaches are going to weed you out.
He's done a good job as a rookie. Ramsey.
He's open.
Hit. Throws. Cooley's got it in the end zone. There's a flag on the play. Once again, Ramsey with a good pass. And the penalty is against the Giants.
26, defense. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
Ramsey's 3rd touchdown pass of the game. The Redskins, who have played an error-free game. In their last meeting in New York in Week 2, they turned the ball over 7 times and lost the game by 6 points.
And Cooley's just turning into a regular touchdown machine, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Hey, he's got 5 touchdowns on the year. I think he only has 21 receptions.
Ball with the extra point. And the Redskins with the huge lead. Their offense has been clicking. Another long drive, and Ramsey finished it off with a good pass to Chris Cooley. Washington 31, the Giants 7.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. And by Paramount Pictures' new film, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Starts December 17th, rated PG.
Michael Strahan drove down on his own. He's out having had surgery to repair a torn pectoral muscle, and the Giants have not won without him. That's the former Giant middle linebacker, Michael Barrow, who hasn't played a game for the Redskins. He's been put on IR, but he's been along the sideline helping his new teammates. John Hall kicking off. Derek Ward, who ran back the last one for a touchdown. Gets up across the 30, stays on his feet, and is knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Ward has been the one offensive weapon for the Giants on the kickoff returns.
Chris Cooley helping the Redskins expand their lead on the Giants, and Sam was talking about how he grew. Of course, first impressions in the NFL when you come from Utah, what do you think in the NFC East, where teams despise each other and are rivals? Well, Cooley's first impression when he was in Philadelphia, fans giving him the finger, not just any fans, he said grandmothers and 5-year-olds. That's a lasting impression of the NFL.
Oh, man. Giants who've had only 24 plays to 59 by the Redskins. Manning rolling, throwing short to Shockey. Up to the 45-yard line. Second catch of the game by Jeremy Shockey. See what the Giants are doing. How about what the Jets are doing? JB, what happened?
All right, Sam, with the return of Chad Pennington to the lineup, Curtis Martin's certainly liking it a lot indeed. 3rd straight win for the Jets. Pennington, 20 of 27, 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. They win their 3rd straight. Back to Sam Rosen and Bill Moss.
Nice job by the Jets. The Giants have had the ball only 2 minutes, 39 seconds here in the second half. Tiki Barber has run for only 25 yards. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. Picked up 3 on the play. Barber, that was his 12th carry of the game.
That first down bootleg by the Giants and Eli Manning was their best first down play of the day. 9 yards on the first down.
They have really struggled offensively.
And I think, Sam, when you go into the game plan and you have a Chris Snead, who's only a rookie guard, and many of you don't know who he is, but he's probably their most dominating run blocker, and you wake up the morning of the game and you all week long you have a plan of attack offensively, and your best run blocker is down, that's going to affect your play call.
That pass a little too high for Amani Toomer. Another big factor is the wide receivers. Toomer and Hilliard have not been factors the last few weeks, and they haven't been able to get the ball to him. Toomer caught one pass last week and has only one catch today.
Well, I think maybe they could use an upgrade there. I mean, these guys have been around a long time. I think Amani doesn't have the speed he once had. They do have that, though, in Taylor, in Jamar Taylor. And he came on for him last week. He is the speed guy out of the wide receiver bunch.
On 2nd and 10, the blitz coming. It's picked up, and Manning's pass blocked. It was partially picked up. That's a great job by Sean Taylor, who blew past the blocker, got a piece of him, got a piece of Manning.
Right, they got a penalty downfield, and they double-teamed Shockey downfield, and this is going to be holding.
Contact, 53, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, they high-low, it's Marcus Washington, and then what they do is they high-low Shockey with Ryan Clark. Shockey's going to be over here. Now watch, 53 is going to peel off with him. Watch it. He's right here. He's going to peel back off with him. He's carrying him downfield. Here's the other angle. 53's carrying him. He's got 25 over the top.
That little shove with the arm is
enough.
illegal contact.
It's tight. There's no question. It's tight. Hey, that's about as tight as you can get, isn't it?
Giants in Redskins territory. Here comes the blitz. They run into it. Tiki Barber fights his way down to the 41-yard line. The ball comes loose. The scramble on. Was it ruled down? No. There's a fumble, and the Giants have recovered. Tiki Barber's done a great job this year holding on to the football, changing the way he's carried the ball. That time it was pulled loose. Ike Hilliard makes the recovery.
High and tight. He wants the ball up high and tight, Tom Coughlin does. But as he's going down here, he takes his shoulder right on the ball by Taylor.
Tiki's not lost a fumble this season. The ball came out. Giants recover, have the ball at the Redskins 40-yard line.
And that's what happens when you're pressing. That's pressing for extra yards. You saw how long he continued to battle 2 and 3 defenders.
Here they come with a blitz again. Manning gets rid of it low, incomplete. Intended for Jamar Taylor. Flag on the play, a late hit on Manning by Sean Taylor.
You know, I think Sean Taylor's becoming a marked man. That looked perfectly clear to me.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 36, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Sean Taylor is becoming a marked man because of the viciousness of his hits. He lays somebody out once a game, Sam, and that looked as clean to me as you can get. It was the blitz. He came right up the middle, and he was making contact with Eli Manning as he released the ball. Now, when you're wrapping up a quarterback and you spend all that energy to get there, you don't know where the ball is in the air, in his hand. You're thinking about wrapping him up and tackling him.
Deepest offensive penetration of the game by the Giants to the Redskins 25. Tiki Barber, couple of yards. Close to the 22-yard line. Brandon Noble made the tackle.
Excuse me, Sam. I go back to this is what the predicament for a defender is. And I'm not taking one side or the other here. It's just that here's the defender's predicament. Let's say you just stopped on the Tiki Barber run. You just say, well, you know, we've been tackling him long enough. It's probably over. If you stop, he busts it for a long run. Well, if you don't tackle the quarterback, what's to say he doesn't just continue to roll out with the ball? You don't know where he is in his throwing process.
Toomer and Taylor, the wideouts, off the play fake. Here comes Ronaldo Wynn. The throw deep for Shockey, and the ball is incomplete.
Miami versus Miami.
That's it. Miami. Sean Taylor against Jeremy Shockey, and Taylor likes that last play.
Well, it only took him about 4 quarters to open up this offense, and they started on the very first drive with the big bootleg. But here it is, Miami on Miami. Shockey against Taylor, and Taylor was drafted to the Redskins because of Shockey, because of L.J. Smith down in Philadelphia, because of Witten down in Dallas. You're talking about a strong safety that can match up with any tight end in the league, run with them, and is physical enough with them at the line of scrimmage.
3 wide receivers in. Shockey motions. Manning throws, and again for Toomer, and this time he couldn't hold on again. Walt Harris and Sean Taylor combine on the hit on Amani Toomer, and the Giants will go for it on 4th down.
Sam, you know, what was I talking about earlier? When you take the run game away, look, and Toomer knew it was coming. You see, he knew it was coming. Amani Toomer knew that was coming. When you take the run game away, all that's left is the air, and the defense knows it. They will deflate it, and they will deflate you.
Giants have to get to the 15 for a 1st down. Here come the Redskins. Manning throws outside, incomplete. Intended again for Amani Toomer. He was covered by Fred Smoot, and the Giants turn it over on downs. The Redskins defense does the job again. The Giants offense hasn't produced any points.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time.
Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Chris Myers. Landover, Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C., where the Washington Redskins are about to break a 4-game home losing streak, a 3-game losing streak overall. They have played one of their best games, if not their best game of the season. Liddell Betts with 11 yards on 1st down. On Portis rest, the hard-running Liddell Betts comes in. The race for the playoffs. You see the division leaders. Eagles, Falcons lost today. Green Bay losing big in Philadelphia and Seattle. The wild card. Oh, Bill is scratching off the Giants. The Rams are 6-6. They'll be in Carolina next week. Carolina's gone to 5-7. For the Giants, they're about to go down to their 5th consecutive defeat. They've seen a season where they were 5-2, dropped to 5-7. Liddell Betts spins up across the 35. And the question will continue, Bill, did Tom Coughlin go to Eli Manning too soon?
Well, you know, Sam, if you're still in the playoff picture, okay, and you did it a couple weeks ago.
They were 5-4 when they...
And you're still in the playoff picture.
Right.
Okay, for whatever reason, you lost a close one in Chicago. You lost a real tough one at Arizona, okay? Those 2 games there, I believe, is when the decision was made. You know, go back and look at your overall offense. You can't just blame the quarterback, I don't think, for the whole future of the team.
No, there are a lot of factors in here, Bill. Nice run again by Betts. They're just tearing up the Giants' defense, Sam. And that's part of the problem, the defense. No Strahan, no Washington. Norman Hand is out today. The defense has really been beat up.
In essence, what you're doing is you're sending a message, in my opinion, to your team and saying, okay, we're playing for the future. Well, he says all the comments, well, I know it's a learning curve with a young quarterback. I know we're going to take a setback. I know. You're still in the playoff picture. Just look around the NFC and look at the records around the NFC. Okay, Kurt Warner holds the ball too long. You knew that when you picked him up in St. Louis. You knew he was going to get sacked. Let's work some other problems out around it and give this year a chance.
Liddell Betts across midfield to the Giants' 49. The Redskins have rushed for 215 yards in the game. Rookie quarterbacks who threw more touchdowns than interceptions: Jim McMahon, Dan Marino, Bernie Kosar with the Browns, Jeff George with the Indianapolis Colts, Tim Couch with the Browns, Donovan McNabb with the Eagles, and Patrick Ramsey with the Redskins.
It's very hard to do because most of those guys were drafted very high. All of them, exactly, were drafted very high. And you're going to teams that have struggled, obviously, if they're getting a top pick.
Betts off the toss, trying to get outside. Good tackle by William Joseph.
And when you draft these young men coming out of college, and the college game is getting more and more so different from the NFL game, it's unbelievable. But look, in 1984 to 1993, look at 18 quarterbacks were selected in the first round. Look how many played 10-plus years. 12 out of the 18. Now take a look at 94 to 204. 25 quarterbacks selected in the first round. 19 didn't last 5 years. 3 of them had made 10. Now, that in itself says something and how you have to handle a young quarterback, in my opinion. And I don't know anything about quarterbacks. How come a defensive lineman? All that stat tells you something.
Giants and a good tackle on Liddell Betts by Osi Umenyiora. I think if anyone can handle it, though, Bill, it's Eli Manning. I think he's got the maturity. I think he has the understanding. He certainly has the pedigree and the support group, not only with the Giants, but in his family.
No question about it. And that's not what I think is at hand here. I think the question is that you asked, and I think the people in New York asked, is did you make the change too soon? I think when you have the playoff picture at hand and you lost 2 games, which you probably should have won by 1 touchdown in each game, you figure out a way to work it, and you don't say, okay, we're building towards next year, because I think that's the message you sent to the entire team.
Tom Tupa lets the clock run down as they take a delay of game penalty. We'll see if the Giants will decline it. Tupa let time tick off.
Game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And they mark it off against the Redskins. The Redskins have had 65 plays in the game. The Giants just 32. Time of possession, 38 minutes, 34 seconds for Washington, 17:33 for the Giants. Dominant performance by the Washington Redskins. Tupa's 3rd punt of the game. Line drive. Mark Jones has it bounce at the 20, went sideways on him. And the Redskins are there to touch it down at the 14-yard line. Redskins have played error-free football. They've done everything right. The only thing they let the Giants do was get a kickoff return for a touchdown. Otherwise, it's a great night in Washington. When these teams met in week 2, the Giants won because of Redskins' offensive turnovers. The defense played well. Defense has played equally as well today. No turnovers by the offense, and the Redskins are dominating. Giants have only 86 yards total offense. Manning 10 for 17, 56 yards. Tiki Barber, 15th carry of the game, 38 yards.
Sam, in 4 quarters of football thus far, the New York Giants have gone exactly.
Looks like right there. Thermometer.
Right there. They have gone 86 yards in 4 quarters. 86 yards in 3 hours of football. That's what the New York Giants have gotten offensively. 86 yards. They have not gone the length of the football field in 3 hours.
Blitz coming. Manning going deep. Way down from Monty Toomer, and he's got it. A great catch by Toomer with Adejimo all over him.
We're past the 100-yard barrier.
There you go. So Manning, who showed he could hit the long ball last week with Jamar Taylor, hits the long ball to Amani Toomer for 48 yards. Clock running. The Giants first down at the Redskins 36. Everybody out. Manning throws to Toomer, and he dropped this one.
Amani Toomer knows what's coming. He knows exactly what's coming inside there. He took that little slant pattern inside. He knew what's coming. And you know, this is a product of a couple things. One, I said Chris Snee being out. You think, oh, rookie guard, no big deal. But when you game plan all week long with your best run blocker and your attack and how you're going to do things, and all of a sudden you have to put a backup in there, and now it changes everything. You have to start running plays, as you saw in the second half by the Giants, that primarily you really didn't work on all week long.
Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Manning throwing deep. He's got a man, and he overthrows Ike Hilliard. Hilliard had a couple of steps on the defender, but that pass thrown too far. It was Hilliard against Sean Springs. Giants will have another tough one next week as they go on the road to Baltimore.
I thought it was a pretty good throw. I thought it was a pretty good throw.
But it didn't seem like a catchable ball to me. All right.
Yeah, but he was leading his receiver into the back of the end zone when he had trail position on his back.
Joe Salaveo, who was injured earlier, is back in the lineup for the Redskins. Philip Daniels has not returned, went out with a wrist injury. On third down, Manning throws low for Amani Toomer. That was a bad throw.
He's done that a lot today. He's done that 3 or 4 times today. He's thrown low. And you can see his frustration.
Yeah. And he expects a lot of himself. He knows the coach and his teammates expect a lot out of him, and he expects a lot out of himself.
You know, as I said before, if other things aren't going, the quarterback is always going to get the blame. And you've seen in Washington the turnaround and the confidence that their quarterback and their whole offense plays with when the run game gets going.
And part of that is sparked by the defense, which has been outstanding for the Redskins. Manning on fourth down, throws too high for Tamar Taylor. It's incomplete.
You don't look at a large building, Sam, and think, wow, what a great foundation. You look at the large building, but without it, it could be a disaster. And I think that applies to offenses in the NFL. If you don't have that staple of a run game and you're just going to pin everything on the quarterback, that you've got potential disaster when you run into a buzzsaw defense like the Redskins.
On the Redskins side, Greg Williams, you had a look at the defensive coordinator and his team. Their goal, they've set a goal for themselves to be #1 in the NFL on defense. Right now, Pittsburgh is #1 in the NFL, and the Redskins are #2. That defense hasn't allowed anything today other than the long pass to Amani Toomer.
And a lot of people claim to be geniuses in the NFL and offensive gurus in this net. From a defensive perspective, from a defensive player who played the game, Greg Williams is as close to a defensive genius as I know.
2-minute warning.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Sprint PCS Picture Mail. It's easy for football fans to shoot, send, and share their own football moments.
We've got full post-game coverage coming your way on the SBC post-game report with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. Scores and highlights around the league. Fox Sports Ticker will tell you what all the players did, so you can check out your fantasy football league. The Redskins, the Giants, as we mentioned, will be in Baltimore next week. Redskins will be home to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Redskins just kneel down as the clock winds. The Redskins will go to 4-8. The Giants go to 5-7. The one bright spot for the Giants was the return game, kickoff return. Derek Ward, the rookie who the Giants picked up from the Jets practice squad early in the year, had 6 returns for 194 yards, including a 92-yarder for a touchdown. Today's game, produced by Michael Burks, directed by Rich Russo, the associate director Tom Yohe, broadcast associate Nara Wang, technical producer Frank Phillips, studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Our spotter in the booth is Gary Lynn. Our statistician, the one and only Emmett McGuire. Next week on the NFL on Fox, the Giants will be in Baltimore. Late game, Lions at the Packers. The Redskins kneel down, turn it over on downs. Big win for them as they break their home field losing streak. They break their overall losing streak. And the Giants have lost 5 in a row. Randy Thomas, that man made a big difference on the offensive line for the Redskins.
You're right, Sam, and I think it's a heck of a statement about Randy Thomas, and I think it's a heck of a statement about Joe Gibbs. You're talking about a team that was 3-8. You're talking about most teams that are 3-8 pretty much have mail it in and have in-house problems. Joe Gibbs is what sets the tone of this team, and it's what keeps these guys going all the time. He wanted to come back on a 3-8 team and play early on an injury. I think that's an all credit to Joe Gibbs.
Well, all the players, that's the one thing you hear from every player that we've talked to, and we've seen the Redskins 3 times this season. Every player has talked about the positive attitude around the Redskins. They believe in Joe Gibbs and the direction he's taking, and Joe Gibbs has accepted a lot of the blame for the failures on offense on himself. And today, the offense produced big time. On the return, Mark Jones took it on the big bounce and brings it up to the 48-yard line for the Giants. And the final seconds of the game ticking off. A huge disappointment for the Giants. who needed this game. The Rams winning today go to 6-6, and the Giants are no longer tied for the final wild card spot in the NFC with 4 games remaining. The SBC post-game report is coming up with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy standing by with highlights of most of the games around the league. Great game for Patrick Ramsey. It really kept the passing game confined and concise.
Well, what this is going to do, too, for the rest of the season, it's really going to open up their offense and what they can do, because the threat of the run now exists in Washington. When it wasn't there, teams were just teeing off on whoever was playing quarterback.
Manning throws too high, intended for Ike Hilliard. Patrick Ramsey, 19 for 22, 174 yards, 3 touchdowns, and of course the great running game for Clinton Portis, 148 yards. Added to that, Liddell Betts with 11 carries for 64. And a lot of smiles along the Redskins sideline. Clinton Portis with a terrific game. They mixed up the running game. They shut down Tiki Barber, who is number 2 in the NFC, number 4 in the NFL in rushing coming into today, and the leader in all-purpose yards from the line of scrimmage. Shockey to the 41-yard line. Tiki Barber, 15 carries, 38 yards in the game.
Sam, Joe Gibbs kept on telling these guys after each and every loss, guys, thank you for playing your butts off for me. You played hard today. We're going to keep working hard. This is my fault. I haven't been able to figure it out, but trust me, I'm going to find a way to figure it out. And he kept on promising these guys after each loss the same things. And, you know, from an outsider's point of view, one may wonder, is that really the right approach you need with today's athletes? But these guys believe in him. They respect him. You know, you always think, can the old school mix with the new school, this and that? And you look at Joe Gibbs and you talk to him, and I've said it to you. I said, there's a guy with a PBS mind in an MTV world, and he's making it work, and he's finding a way to gain these players' trust and get them to believe in him.
You went from the History Channel to PBS? You switched over, huh? You got the remote again.
No, the History Channel's on the other sideline.
That pass is dropped, almost intercepted. There have been no turnovers in the game. Sean Taylor had a chance for one there, and that's it. Yet another disappointment for Eli Manning. He has yet to win in the NFL. For Joe Gibbs, a big win, ending the 3-game losing streak and a 4-game home field losing streak. The Redskins have a lot to cheer about. They played a terrific game and beat the Giants 31-7. We'll be right back. Redskins defeat the Giants 31-7. They go to 4-8. Giants are 5-7. UPS delivers a chance to win the ultimate home football experience. Just log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Keyword UPS. UPS, what can Brown do for you? Patrick Ramsey, Clinton Portis lead the way for the Washington Redskins as they beat the Giants 31-7. For Bill Moss and Chris Myers, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. Now the SBC post-game report is coming up. Let's go to JB.
Welcome to the SBC post.
The playoff stretch run kicks off on Week 13 on NFL Primetime. There is no brotherly love in a Packers-Eagles playoff rematch. When was the last time a Chargers-Broncos game meant so much to the AFC West? Peyton Manning dealing out TD passes and closing in on the record books, while the Titans pull out all the stops in Indy. The Falcons with the division title on their minds, but a rejuvenated Bucs suddenly have the postseason in their sights. The Patriots look to rock and roll in Cleveland. The Vikes hope to avoid a letdown in Chi-Town. And Eli's still looking for his first W. It's an action-packed Week 13 NFL Primetime.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to NFL Primetime. Lucky Week 13. Chris Berman with Tom Jackson. And you know what? Some games real low scoring at half. Some games off the abacus at the half. We had an interesting day today.
Yeah, but a great week. A lot of divisional games this week, so we're going to get some things decided, at least start to.
And some upsets possibly with 10 divisional games, one of them being the Bengals at the Ravens. So here we go. The Bengals, of course, at 58 points last week, but could Carson Palmer continue it in Baltimore against that rock-solid Baltimore defense? Early on, no. It was 13-3 Baltimore, and here we go again with Ed Reed. He does it every game, and then he switches hands, and he said, what? But Chris McAllister jumps off the Tallahatchie Bridge. That crest is too big in the middle of that field. The Billick crest, too big. But anyway, look at McAllister winding, bobbing, weaving. 20-3 Ravens, and that's it with them. Right there at home, it's 20-3. That's it. Maybe it's not it. It's now 20-10. No. Palmer to Chad Johnson. It's 20-17. Now, 23-17. Carson Palmer to TJ. You say Houshmandzadeh. I say Houshmandzadeh. Now, what happens is they call them for a flag for celebrating, and so it's assessed on the kickoff. Said,
you know, I'm not big on celebrations, you know that, but what a touchy call. What a touchy call.
So Baltimore gets much better field position with the assessed on the kickoff, but then Brian Simmons comes up with the ball after Chester Taylor fumbles, and that could do it until no. Ravens down 24-23 here. Get a break when illegal contact called to the Bengals, Torrey James, so Baltimore keeps it. Jamel White down the sideline for a big game. Matt Stover, he's automatic, 26-24, Baltimore. Now, just over a minute to play, 2nd and 19. There's Houshmandzadeh. A big gain inside the Ravens 45 with 35 seconds to go. Tick, 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 tick. Wow, it's Chad Johnson over the shoulder inside the 10. Shane Graham, crackers for everybody. Good. What a stunning loss for the Ravens and a huge win for Cincinnati. 27-26 after being down 17th in the fourth quarter. Both of their receivers had 10 catches for 161 and 171. The first Bengal win on the road against a winning team in 42 tries dating back to Sam Weiss, 1990.
1990, and a credit to the coach of this football team, Marvin Lewis. And look at the growth, because this is the thing I've enjoyed now as we get to the end of the season and toward the end of the season. Carson Palmer, just look at the numbers. Look at what he was able to do in a comeback effort for the Bengals.
Now, speaking of another team coming back, the Buffalo Bills after an 0-4 start. If they can win at Miami for rookie coach Mike Mularkey, they'd be 6-6. Bills special team. Opening kickoff. 4 yards deep is Terrence McGee. And look at this. Makes the cut. And he could go all the way for the Bills' 5th team record, 5th kick and punt return touchdown this season.
Bills special teams.
Yeah, the Bills special teams. This game turned out to be a wild game, though. Early on, A.J. Feely looked like this. Donald Lee, touchdown. 3 touchdowns, Feely, in the first 12.5 minutes. 21-14 Miami, game on. Now, with just seconds left in the third quarter, 24-21 Dolphins, Drew Bledsoe to Lee Evans. Remember the 68 Olympics, Tommy Smith, Lee Evans, fist in the air, touchdown. Bledsoe threw 4 on this day, 28-24. Just before the 2-minute warning, you said it.
I said Feely could rush up and throw an interception for a touchdown before the 2-minute warning.
And he did. The big fella, Pat Williams, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Nobody wants to get in his way. A.J. Feely, remember those 3 early touchdown passes? He threw 5 interceptions, 7 Miami turnovers, and the Buffalo Bills have gone into Miami and won 42-32. Bledsoe, we told you about the 4 touchdown passes. By the way, the kickoff return by McGee, the longest in Buffalo Bills team history. Here's a team clearly intent on finishing big time, Tom.
Yeah, and I think you watch the Buffalo Bills, Drew Bledsoe obviously now feeling the strength of the Willis McGahee running game, starting to find out what his receivers can do for him, offensive line feeling good. You have said it, this team will finish strong.
And Mike Mularkey fed him pregame cheeseburgers the night before. Why not in Florida? Cheeseburger in paradise. That's where Jimmy Buffett is. At any rate, Mike Vick, could the Falcons bottle up their division over Tampa? Have other ideas? Peyton Manning zeroing in on Dan Marino's record. How many points would the Colts ring up against Tennessee? That game was wild for a while.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Visa. proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. Back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Another one of those from way off the pace NFC teams, the Carolina Panthers in New Orleans against Deuce McAllister and the Saints, and it's a fumble. McAllister fumbles. Kendall Moorhead falls on it. Tom, just a quick hit right after the handoff.
Yeah, we got Brandon Short highlighted right there. You come clean, you come untouched, you put your helmet right on the football. Deuce McAllister had very little chance to hold on to that one. Alert recovery by the Carolina Panthers.
And last minute of the first quarter, Jake Daylight coming. You got it, Delon. Back at his native Louisiana to Moose and Muhammad. How about those moves? 13-0 Panthers. What a surprise. Saints scoreless in the first quarter. Their last points of the first quarter, Tom, September 19th. Tricky Panthers. Delon Muhammad, 51 yards, sets up a touchdown run by Nick Goings and Goings and Goings. 20-0 Panthers. Julius Peppers. He did everything last week except play wide receiver.
Yeah, and he probably could have caught this, but you got to throw it in bounds.
So it forced them to settle for a field goal. And did I say something about field goal? John Casey at the foot. 6 for 6. Carolina, who was once, what, 1-7? Now 4-7. They're in the hunt. Hey, look, here's the big picture. You got to like the way they play for John Fox and with Delhomme, with all their injuries, the way that they still care, and it might pay off for them.
Yeah, a team that's now 5-7, and they find themselves in the thick of some sort of a race for this last place in the playoffs, depending on what happens.
And the Tampa Bay Bucks were thinking the same thing. They're 4-7. Meanwhile, look, Atlanta's got a 5-game lead with 5 to go. And here comes 9-2 Atlanta, team with the second-best record in the NFC, into the new sombrero. Michael Vick, though, has always had trouble with Tampa Bay. You know why? Number 55, Derek Brooks. He's there to tip the ball in the hands of Dwight Smith instead of the Falcons tying it. Bucks ball. Then Vick slides, and who's involved again? Brooks flushing him out on the play. They're right there. He's hurt on the play. Vick sits out of play, comes back. Now 3rd and 8. Did we say Derek Brooks?
Derek Brooks.
Tom.
DB.
His quickness is... Look at him strip picking the ball. He had trouble with the ball all day.
Well, it's his quickness. It's their ability to track Mike Vick when he gets ready to leave the pocket. And Mike Vick has to be more protective and secure the football with both hands once he starts moving in the pocket.
And you saw Simeon Rice get involved. He had 2 sacks, over 100 for his career. Brian Greasy to Joey Galloway. And the Bucks went on to humble the Falcons 27-0, and you own the team. You can do this. The owner, Arthur Blank, with the quarterback, Mike Vick.
It's just odd. It's just odd.
Can we wait till after the game, please?
We're trying to win a football game.
Yeah, can we wait? Well, you know, Buccaneers 27, the Falcons nothing, so no division title yet, although it is a formality. And Derek Brooks, 11 tackles, the 2 sacks, the tip, the forced fumble once again. Vic 2-3 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sacked 14 times in those 5 games. And look, they're 9-3, so they don't really have to apologize too much, Atlanta. But boy, when they don't look right, they look really
awfully wrong. Yes, that's right. And I think the good news, if you're the coach of the football team, is you almost take those losses and you just throw them out. You know, we're not even going to watch that film. We're going to get prepared for the next week. We're going to look at this as an aberration. But I think that what's really discouraging is that when we look at this conference, we have this great football team. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are a great football team. And then there is a huge drop-off to whatever is next. And I don't know what we're going to do as we start getting to playoffs. We're going to play the playoffs. I just can't imagine what they're going to look like except for those games that Philly are in.
We're going to show this later. 5-7 is alive, and maybe not well, but certainly very much alive. So Atlanta doesn't quite clinch things yet when we return. Plenty of more divisional action, and Andy and T.O. talking about tights. Donovan McNabb trying to put the Green Bay Packers in a tight spot. And Peyton Manning with a bunch more tight spirals today for Indianapolis at home against their one-time nemesis, Tennessee.
Chevrolet Fantasy Ticker is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution.
Sunday Night Football, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 10-1. Once upon a time, a fierce rivalry with Jacksonville when they, not so long ago, were in the same division. Now they go back to Jacksonville to show the Jags what they've learned. Jags playoff hopeful as well, but could Ben Roethlisberger go 10 for 10 as starter? With highlights, Linda Cohn.
ESPN Sunday night game. Jags fight for their playoff hopes, hosting Big Ben and the 10-1 Steelers. Roethlisberger tied for the rookie QB record of 9 wins. Roethlisberger finding Jay Remersma for the score. Visa Skycam play of the game. The play, though, was challenged by Jack Del Rio. Take another look as you see. Ball pops out when Remersma hits the ground, but the TD stands. Important points. Jags down 1 in the fourth. Fred Taylor, 27 carries, 76 yards. Get into Steelers territory at the right time. Josh Scobie lining up for a 36-yard field goal, and the kick is good, and the Jaguars taking a 16-14 lead. Roethlisberger now. Last drive under 2 minutes left. Thing about Big Ben, he is so cool for a rookie. Connecting with Lee Mays. Roethlisberger, 3 for 3 for 39 yards on this final drive. And then, next play, the draw play to Willie Parker. Getting it to the 28-yard line of the Jags. Roethlisberger, 14 of 17, 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here we go. Jeff Reed, 37 yards away for Pittsburgh. No problem. Steelers take back the lead. They're up by 1. Roethlisberger is thrilled. What do you know? The Jags are in a close game. Like that never happens. Last chance for Byron Leftwich. Connecting with Jimmy Smith. What a pass. Leftwich, 16 of 27 for 268 yards. Scobie. To win this thing, he's got to hit from 60 yards. Jack Del Rio praying. As for Scobie, man, when Carl and I were watching this, we thought he had enough leg, but didn't quite make it. So the Steelers hang on. 10 straight wins for the 11-1 Steelers.
Sunday Night Football continues next week on ESPN at 8:30 p.m. Eastern when the 11-1 Eagles take on the Redskins. The game is preceded by NFL Primetime and followed by SportsCenter. Now, let's send it back to Boomer and TJ.
Down to St. Louis for the Rams against the same old sorry 49ers. Mark Bulger. Off of Monday night, more turnovers. Oh, look at Bryant Young, who remembers the glory days of this franchise. Sack. Bulger leaves, holding his right arm. If I only had a replacement who could go in the game. And that would be Chris Chandler. Remember him? A year ago, he last threw a touchdown pass. Here's another one. Torrey Holt, 10-3 Rams. Niners played pretty well on D. Their offense anemic. Kevin Barlow nailed by Robert Thomas. Tommy might do this tomorrow night.
He got jacked up.
That's yours. And then Tim Rattay, Tyoka Jackson, they had 4 sacks. Did the Rams? The Niners had 9 first downs. I mean, they held St. Louis to 16 points, but hey, how about those Rams? They're back at 500, beating the 49ers 16-6. The news in this game with Falk Gimpy, Steven Jackson, top back pick in the draft, 119 yards rushing.
And that's going to be the story going down the stretch for the Rams is Steven Jackson now is going to be the high-profile back in this offense with Marshall Falk probably playing a secondary role, and you love Chris Chandler when he's healthy, period.
Well, we'll see with Bulger x-rays negative. Speaking of rookie backs, Detroit's been waiting for their rookie running back, Kevin Jones, and here he is. Remember the Lions off 10 days after that Thanksgiving throttling they got at home against Arizona. Kevin Jones had a huge day. Here's 2 of his yards, but more important, a touchdown. Detroit leads 14-6 over Arizona second quarter. Arizona's close to 14-12, and then Ty Streets is going to make a big block. Ty sticks him right here, Tom.
Yeah, that's a great block, and you can see what it does for this run. It gets him off to a 74-yard run. Kevin Jones, great job of bobbing and weaving. Serpentine, I think they call that when you're moving around like that, trying to get away from people.
Hey, he had 196 yards. Meanwhile, John Navarre, more on that in a moment, picked by Dre Bly. What a big year last year. He's a big part of the Lions, but Dre, no need. Put the ball, sheesh, put it down. Down to the Arizona 11. John Navarre, the 7th round pick for Arizona, the 12th overall quarterback drafted. He played at Michigan. Denny Green trying to give him a start. Obviously, he's disgruntled with all his quarterbacks. They lost 26-12. The note on Kevin Jones for Detroit, who snaps. That's why I picked him to get in the playoffs. Tom, a 5-game losing streak. I like their momentum. They snap it. Kevin Jones, 196. Detroit rookie record. You remember this name. Mel Farr.
Mel Farr.
197 back in
Think another one of those
1967.
number 20s, right?
Yeah, wait,
That's
well,
true.
no. Mel Farr, 24.
24. Okay. There's three great 20s.
Lombardi, Barry Sanders. They're all in the 20s. Meanwhile, when we return, Patriots starting awfully fast and finishing fast at Cleveland. What else is new? And back in the fold for the Jets. Chad Pennington, after missing 3 games, would he be chanting S-E-T-H-Z-Z-Z? We'll be back.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Well, the New England Patriots actually lost a game a month ago, and how have they done? Well, like Philadelphia, they've come back and flattened everybody they played. Since they lost to Pittsburgh, 4 straight wins to the tune of 120-50. Would Cleveland be the 5th straight team they would flatten? Of course, the Browns had issues of their own. Butch Davis resigning, the Emperor, it didn't work there. Terry Robisky, interim head coach in the NFL, second time in his career, but how does the game begin? With Hanukkah just around the bend, Temple Bethel Johnson could go all the way. Oh, my God, it's 7-0. The Patriots right out of the gate. So we saw 2 opening kickoffs by AFC East teams, Buffalo and New England. Corey Dillon, stiff-arming guys. Dillon had 98 yards, left after the first half, had a bruised leg, 14-0 New England. William Green, stripped by Richard Seymour. Randall Gay picks it up, and watch Willie McGinnis.
This is a great play. Watch Willie actually pull Randall Gay back behind him so he can get out in front, throw a block, allow him to cut across the field, and it just does get him into the end zone.
And Gay goes all the way. And then, with the score 42-15, he's going to have 2 interceptions on the year. Yes, he is. Troy Brown and
his band of renown.
He picks off Luke McCown, the younger brother of...
There's a lot of them.
You know what? If you confuse your McCowns, Tears of McCown is in Arizona. Send in McCown in Cleveland. And it was New England all business. 42-15. Cleveland's lost 6 in a row. Oh, by the way, the Patriots, Tom, have won 26 of their last 27 games. And you couldn't even tell they lost any.
Yeah, Corey Dillon, all but 1 play in the first half of that football game. 18 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Meanwhile, while the Patriots are going to 11-1, the New York Football Jets at 8-3. Well, no, here's our slider. I always forget these things. The Patriots are 5-0 since their loss to Pittsburgh. You look at the numbers on defense, which we didn't give you all. The 14 takeaways, the 15 sacks. You see the points allowed, just 13. We've told you what they scored. This just in. They're still the team to beat. But the New York Jets aren't surrendering the division quite yet. After 3 games on the punt, Chad Pennington back. His rotator cuff problems okay. Jets trailing Houston at the Meadowlands 7-6 third. Santana Moss. There's flags down, but he still goes. And Moss, with a convoy, steps out very deep at the 4-yard line. And then Tom White's crew had a tough time here, Tom. Mike Westhoff, special team coach Jets, says, wait a minute, pick up the flag. He does. Houston goes nuts.
You know, I agree with the reversal of the call because as you watch Darryl McGlover here, the light touch on Troy Evans. But once you drop that flag, how do you make the decision then to pick it up? What causes you to pick that flag up?
Well, they had a tough game, and meanwhile, Curtis Martin did not. So second play after the ensuing drive, Martin scores. He had 134 yards, 13-7 Jets. Here's Chad Pennington. Remember, he was hurt Buffalo game. And so this is why, you don't see Chad do this much. He's just elated that he's out there, not hurt, scrambling. And then Pennington, the flip to Martin. Curtis does the rest. And the Jets wore down Houston as the game went on. They really did. You saw a team that, they don't necessarily flash and dash you, but they bludgeoned Houston in the second half. Here's the numbers you want. 20 of 27, 155 for Chad Pennington, and the Jets ran for 210.
Yeah, they run the football well. They don't commit a lot of penalties. They don't commit a lot of turnovers. They're going to win a lot of close football games. This is the story of the Jets year in, year out under Herm Edwards.
And the Jets are 9-3. When we return, the other New York entry, Eli Manning, on the road at Washington. Would this be his day, or would Patrick Ramsey have the big day? And speaking of big days, Brett Favre. You saw his streak of 201 games now starting. Would another big-time streak come to an end? Here we go in the AFC West, the undercard, but you knew this was going to be an entertaining game. It always is. First time they've met all year. Took to December. Chiefs, Raiders. Dick Vermeil and the Chiefs trying to end a 4-game losing streak. And Larry Johnson, the running back drafted a year ago, 5 yards for the touchdown. This, by far and away, is what's only really his impressive game. Kerry Collins to Jerry Porter. Throws an arm in Dexter McLean's face. They call Porter personal foul.
Well, that was close to a punch. I think that's why the official called it. It wasn't just a hand to the face. It was almost a punch to the face.
Trent Green to Larry Johnson. Grandmama. 10-yard touchdown, 24-20 Kansas City. Fourth quarter, same score. Remember the catch he made in the snow on Sunday night here on ESPN? Ronald Curry, the former hoopster of the Tar Heels, catches a 26-yarder, 27-24. But then Johnson, first down. Later in the fourth, same drive. Larry Johnson. You knew he could do this, Tom. You know the Chiefs' line is outstanding. Settled for a field goal. It's 27-all. Then, Trent Green. 2 minutes to go to Eddie Kennison. Raiders tackle, will ya? He's gone. 70 yards. So just before the 2-minute warning, Trent Green to Kennison wins it. And Kansas City, 500 yards of total offense. They beat the Raiders 34-27 despite 343 throwing for Collins. Green had 340. These teams can at least light it up. Oakland at least playing with a little more urgency.
Yeah, and yet you see the Raiders, and I always remember the way the Raiders are, running the ball 10 times total in a football game. 10 total. It's not Raider-like.
We said the Raiders playing better. You didn't think KC would fold the 10th seed to reach 4-8. Giants, Redskins, both Eli Manning and Patrick Ramsey say, gee, we finally get to play a team with a losing record. Each other, the Giants and the Redskins. Here we go, Philip Daniels. He is in on Manning on 3rd and 5, sacks the rookie QB. Washington ran the ball outstanding today. Clinton Portis. Here's 13 yards juking and jiving on 2nd and 3. Then Portis a touchdown. 7-0 Redskins late first. Giants, Tiki Barber stuffed by Cornelius Griffin. Giants ran for only 38 yards today. Washington plays defense, Tom. Here you're seeing it again.
Yeah, and until Eli Manning is a real threat, you're going to see people stack the line of scrimmage against Tiki Barber.
Now here's Portis breaking through for 19 yards. He has over 1,000 for the season. Later in the drive, the shovel pass works in the NFC. Patrick Ramsey to Portis, 14-0 Skins. Jeff Fiegel's punting, blocked by Walt Harris, not the Pitt coach, but the Redskins. And it's Washington ball to the chagrin of Tom Coughlin. So last minute of the half, Ramsey to Robert Royal, king for a day. Touchdown, 21-0 Skins, the first time they've scored over 20 all year long. Third quarter, 24-0. Derek Ward provides Giants fans with a smile. Whoop! Makes a move. He could go all the way. 92 yards, 24-7. But enough with the comeback, says Washington. In the fourth on 3rd and 2, Ramsey, Chris Cooley, touchdown. And the Redskins, who ran for 211 today, Tom, at the Giants 38. The Redskins, who had the ball for 40 minutes, clobber the Giants 31-7.
Yeah, and I think if you're the coach of either one of these football teams, either Joe Gibbs or Tom Coughlin, you are now starting to assess the character of your football team.
Meanwhile, it seems ridiculous. Peyton Manning hadn't thrown a touchdown pass for a week and a half. Of course, he didn't play for a week and a half either. He goes into the game against Tennessee, which was one of his bugaboos. Remember, he starred at Tennessee. He could never beat the Titans and Steve McNair. Well, he beat him 3 in a row now. Going into this game, it's our prime cut. Yeah. The big horseshoe as Peyton Manning and Steve McNair, while they wouldn't face off, the two co-MVPs, Manning, 41 TD passes, 7 behind Marino McNair. Tom, you talked to him this week. So I talked to McNabb. It's a huge game. So you talked to Steve. He's inactive.
And he didn't play.
Right. But Billy Volek did, and 48 yards to Drew Bennett. It's 7-3 Titans. I just want you to make note.
know.
Tennessee pulling out every trick in the bag. Craig Hendrick onside kick. Scott McGarrahan gets it. So Jeff Fisher says, look, we got to do something to upset this team, and they do. That leads to Gary Anderson, 45-yard field goal, 10-3 Tennessee. Next kickoff. Well, I mean, all right, you already showed onside kick, so you... Whoa, another one! They had it, Tom. Went out of bounds, so they kick again, and this time they kick it away. Next Colts drive. Colts do it this way. Play action. Peyton. How sweet is this catch by Marvin Harrison?
Well, you just take another look at this. Marvin Harrison, and he makes it look so easy and effortless. It's back of the end zone. The great grab, always catches the ball with his hands, and then the outstanding footwork to tap him in for the score.
So the game tied at 10. Tennessee goes back to work. The Colts don't exactly bring the 85 Bears defense, Volek, 28 yards to Drew Bennett, and it's 17-10 Titans. It's still the first... No, they're not... No, another onside kick. It's still the first quarter. And Jeff Fisher acts referee here. Wait, it's ours? That way! And so the Titans drive. Volek, though, picked off by Jason David. So the Colts defense contributing, and then it's time for the edge. Minute and a half left to go in the first quarter. 17 all, 5-yard touchdown, Edgerrin James. Still the first quarter, Tom. 7 seconds left. And here's Volek to Drew Bennett. Watch this grab. Nice! 24-17, the second highest first quarter in the history of the NFL. A 67 game between Green Bay and Cleveland, the only one higher. Peyton Manning says enough of all this. 28 yards to Brandon Stokely, 24 all, 2 TDs for Manning, 43 on the year.
Yeah, we're going to show you a little bit about cohesion between quarterback and wide receiver. Marvin Harrison, first of all, bending his route. He's going to run inside of the corner. This is a 7 route. This is the flag route we talk about. Freezes the safety. You'll see him as he comes into the pattern late. Bend it right back to the cone at the back of the end zone. Perfect throw by Manning. Brandon Stokely, on the other hand, the safety now slightly outside. He's going to run to the outside shoulder of the corner, third corner, then bend it back inside. Perfect timing. Peyton Manning throwing the ball away from the safety. It's a matter of inches between completion, incompletion, actually a chance for an interception by the DB. You don't get it because nobody does it quite as good as the Colts.
Meanwhile, Gary Anderson field goal blocked this time, and it's now Colts special teams. Rob Morris rumbling 68 yards. And so the Colts special teams get him the lead 31-24. After field goal, 34-24 play action. Peyton steps up, hits Stoke. God, it's as if he didn't put his hands up. The ball would hit him between the elbows, running anyway. And then the inside give to Edgerrin James. The edge, 17 yards. U2 of the new album, Edge, running well. Then James, 12-yard run. Edgerrin James, $105 today on the ground. Score 41-24. Titans 3rd and 9, down 17. Can they get back in it? To Bennett. Ooh, they had him. Incomplete. So 4th down, they're going to punt it. Oh, why not? It's Craig Hendrick throwing to center. Ken Amato going to the center. Center eligible. But Gilbert Gardner breaks it up. And then you know what happens. No surprise. Lamont Thompson picks off Peyton, his second of the game. But enough already. Manning, Reggie Wayne, touchdown. 3 for Peyton Manning. 44 on the season, 4 behind Dan Marino. Marino also had 44 for the second best ever in NFL history. 51-24 the Colts. It's the 5th straight game won by the Colts, and they tie the NFL record for most consecutive 40-point games with 4. 2000 Rams did it. 1960 Los Angeles Chargers did it. And now, every time you read a Colts game, there's another record.
Well, we talk about seeing things with our eyes as you take a look at the numbers between Marino and Manning and the passing yards, the touchdown passes, where they were at this point in the season. But you had the feeling they didn't even play very well, but scored 51.
And, again, every game you read something here, okay, to start the season, 12 straight games of multiple touchdowns thrown. Peyton Manning joins Johnny Unitas. Record set 45 years ago. So the big question is for the Colts, look, Is this offense, the way they play, is it good enough to overcome not even at the time mediocre D?
You know, I think it is because of the mindset of the coaching staff. I think that when you talk to them and you ask them, you know, are you planning your offense around your defense? Are you thinking in terms of what it's going to take in terms of winning football games or what they're going to give you defensively? And I do think that they are getting better as the season goes on. I think they're getting a little bit better. But they go out with the idea, we're going to score 40, 45 plus every single week.
They do it.
And let's see if the other team can do that. And it is fun to watch.
You know what's humorous? 5 years ago, one of our favorite people, Tony Dungy, almost became the first coach to lead his team to the Super Bowl by winning a championship game 6-5.
That's right.
5 years later, he may become the first team to lead his team to the Super Bowl, winning 60-50. 5 years. Look what's changed. When we return, speaking of changes, is there a change in the AFC West? San Diego looking to go 2-up on Denver in a game played in the rain in Southern California. Drew Brees against the Snake, and then the showdown between McNabb and Favre turned out to be anything but.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Day began with the Vikings and the Pack tied at 7-4 atop the NFC Norris division, but the Vikings have not won an outside game in December since '99. They're in Chicago. 2 months ago, Chad Hutchinson surfing in California. This looked like surfing to you, Tom. What? He's hanging 10. Hit by Chris Claiborne, but he gets up. Hey. So the 20th Bears quarterback to start since 1990, which is the most in football, now all of a sudden has them screaming at Soldier Field. Touchdown, Desmond Clark. Could the Bears upset the Vikings? 7-0. Now it's 10-7 Bears. Dante Culpepper picked off by, he's back, Brian Urlacher. Back in the nick of time for Chicago.
And understand, folks, what a great play this is by Brian Urlacher. He has great range. He's going to follow the quarterback's eyes here. He's very close to the line of scrimmage. In close quarters, what a difficult catch. And watch how he catches it completely with his hands. Has to get around behind him to get that football. That makes him the great athlete. That makes him the great linebacker.
Yeah, but then here come the Vikings. Bada it. Dante Culpepper, Marcus Kukukachu, Mr. Robinson. He slips and falls. He used to play for the Bears, but now he gives the Vikes a 14-10 lead. But here comes Chad Hutchinson, David Terrell. And the Bears lead 17-14. A Bears quarterback actually throwing it to a receiver. And Culpepper avoids the run. Jerry Azuma, who had a big game, has him. How does he get this off to Mo Williams? The Vikings wouldn't score on the drive because they miss a field goal. And then with the score 17-14 Bears in the fourth, Hutchinson to Jason McKee. 24-14 Chicago. 3 touchdown passes, Hutchinson, and 3 picks of Culpepper at only 7 going in. Jerry Halls of Montezuma right there had the other 2. Urlacher had the 1. The Bears win 24-14. The Bears are 5-7, Tom. Don't tell anyone. They're also in the hunt.
And in the hunt.
And Minnesota falls to 7-5, and they're winning outdoors in December. They just find trouble doing it in the cold weather games. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles are having no trouble winning games, and neither are the Green Bay Packers. Indoors, outdoors, you name it. The 10-1 Eagles and Donovan McNabb hosting Brett Favre and the Packers, who hadn't lost in Columbus Day. Was this going to be a showdown, or would McNabb make the showdown with Favre a shambles? Here we go. And Donovan McNabb and Brett Favre. Last year, the 4th and 26 completion by McNabb in the waning minutes helped the Eagles tie it, then they won in overtime. How would this go? Well, Brian Dawkins, remember he had the big pick in overtime of that playoff game? He made a pick right here. Deja vu all over again. McNabb. Terrell Owens makes the move, and T.O. touchdown number 14. Andy Reid's going to wear the tights at 15.
You know, and when they're talking on the sideline, you know that they're talking about the tights. You know that T.O.'s telling them you're close.
But meanwhile, a game to play. Sheldon Brown with the pick of Favre. And Brown, the possession. The Eagles get the ball anyway. It was their day all the way around. 2nd and 1. Somebody said this morning that Brian Westbrook would be a very busy young man.
It was just a guess.
It was a guess. 18-yard game on the throw for McNabb up to the 14. McNabb started 14 for 14. Here's another one. Swing to Westbrook. The little guy from Villanova does the rest. Remember, he didn't play in either game last year against Green Bay. 14-0 Philadelphia. Now on 3rd and 1. McNabb, Westbrook, finding ways to get him out of the backfield. He's so dangerous. He's such a special player when healthy. 21-0 Philadelphia.
Yeah, and that's called flatten up, but he ran it against the corner, and he still got that wide open.
McNabb with mustard on that throw despite the rush to L.J. Smith. 28-0 looked like. And then McNabb to Westbrook, 12 yards, 35-3 at the half. 5 touchdown passes first half. Donovan McNabb. Then McNabb, third. T.O. gets between defenders, makes another move, sets up a field goal by David Akers from
Louisville.
And then McNabb, Westbrook. Watch this. Boy, it's just so pretty when it works like this. Westbrook, a 50-yard gain. Eagles kicking field goals in the second half. The Eagles, boy, it's supposed showdown, forget it. 47-17. More on this in a moment in a game that Brett Favre did not throw a touchdown pass. But McNabb, who 4 times this year threw 4, had never thrown 5 in his career. He did it today, and his 464 yards passing break the old franchise mark of 447 held by Randall Cunningham. Tom, see, I go talk to somebody, and he puts in a game like that. And at the playoff picture, we talked about it before. The Eagles, these are your division leaders here. I understand we got a month to go. These are in the hunt. See, the 5 tied at 5 and 7 are actually the funny ones that we should put up there. But let's talk Philadelphia for a minute. Look, this was a statement game, and we talked about it at the show on Countdown, because Philly attended. They've been very good before like this, but they showed themselves and Green Bay and everybody in the conference, hey, we're really this good.
Well,
we're really this good.
Two close games last year against Green Bay. They wanted to come back this year. I think it was a statement game for them. If we do meet you again, we want you to remember what happened. We're going to meet you in Philly if, in fact, we do meet you. And I think one of the things as you look at this conference, and almost discouraging, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but, you know, you think, well, can Green Bay challenge? Can Atlanta challenge? You know, when they get beat in a way that makes you understand clearly that they are a cut below whatever the Philadelphia Eagles are. And, you know, I'm looking forward to watching the Eagles play this out.
Wow,
I'm just looking forward to them play this out. They're having fun doing it.
They're having a great time. Meanwhile, speaking of a team having a great time, the San Diego Chargers with a 1-game lead out west over the Denver Broncos. The Broncos beat them a long time ago in Denver. Raining in San Diego, which is unusual, and the ball squirting all over the place. Ball bobbled. Drayton Florence with the pick very early for San Diego. Drew Brees pens this to Eric Parker. That's very nice. 30 yards. Same drive. LaDainian Tomlinson. Man, the little guy can run tough as well. 5-yard touchdown. 7-0 San Diego. Jake Plummer. Ball batted away by Randall Godfrey. Intercepted by Steve Foley. 2 veterans who have been such big players for the Charger defense. Later in the first, Jesse Chapman spells Tomlinson. John Lynch. Oh, he can still lay the lumber. It's a fumble. San Diego gets it, though.
You know, Lynch, one of the biggest hitters in this league, and he catches somebody standing. Forward progress hadn't been completely stopped, and he leveled the wood.
And meanwhile, with the score 7-7, Tomlinson, a 1-yard run. So 2 touchdowns, LT, 14-7 San Diego. Late second, Plummer. Pass tipped at the line by Sean Phillips, who makes a diving interception. What a big play at the line.
Yeah, you think about a lineman who has this kind of athleticism. He sees the ball, and look at him stretch out there. Grab it, tuck it, get the arms under it. No review there. That's a good pick.
And 3 picks and now a couple of Kading field goals. Last couple minutes of the third quarter, it's 20-7 San Diego. But this is what, look at Rod Smith, having a big year again for Denver, between defenders, 45 yards. Now, same drive, fourth quarter, Reuben Drones, end zone, ball game on, 20-14. San Diego's lead down to 6. But then Plummer to Rod Smith, a huge play tipped by Florence. Jerry Wilson with the pick in the end zone. Mark, you think Marty's into this? 4 picks for San Diego against Jake Plummer. Now, 2-minute warning, 3rd and 7, San Diego. Here's Lynch again. It's a fumble. Denver, San Diego gets it. But Lynch bringing the heat. San Diego has to punt. So can Jake Plummer, down 20-17, 50 seconds to go, tie the game. To Darius Watts, first down, tick, 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 no timeout, 4th and 10. Plummer, Watts, tick, 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 and the San Diego Chargers have won the biggest game maybe in 10 years
they played
since
in a
their
long
Super Bowl
time.
year in
Long
'94.
time.
The San Diego, I don't mean to do it here with the Broncos, Superchargers. San Diego Chargers sell out the place. They're rolling. They win 20-17. They pretty much stop the Denver run a little bit, and in the end, they force the turnovers on a sloppy day.
Yeah, and we talked this morning about, you know, the possibility of the picks that come, and I think that Jake Plummer has come a long way with the picks, but certainly today, and not all of these picks his fault. As you take a look at it, at least the first couple, you know, balls that could have been caught by his receivers. Jeb Pertier here, going to run the route. A good job of delivering the ball in bad weather conditions. Ball bounces off his hands and it's picked. Here, Dwayne Carswell has a chance to make the catch. Little curl over the middle. Now that ball is delivered as the defender is really coming for the hit, so you give him a chance to make the hit on the ball. Then Plummer again here. Gonna throw a ball a little bit too low. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. Defender makes a great play on it. So these are all good plays. I give credit to the San Diego Chargers. This one, another great play, but you had a little more room to the outside. Rod may have been looking for it a little more outside. But again, you cannot turn the ball over in critical situations. No matter what, it will ruin your chances to win football games.
San Diego Chargers have won 6 straight games and doing it by defensively stopping the run, which they did a good job against Denver today. And you saw the Breeze, the 1 interception on the wet day, but they don't turn the ball over. Marty Schottenheimer said Marty Ball is dead. But winning Marty Ball
Marty Ball is not dead. It's not dead. He might try to convince somebody of that.
Tomlinson with 113 yards rushing today, and the Chargers lead the West by 2. Now, both the Chargers and Broncos, for example, play the Colts left. There's a lot of football to go in a very good. Look at this.
Look at this conference.
This is a conference. The only good news for the NFC today is they didn't play the AFC.
That's correct.
The Patriots, Steelers with their Sunday night game, Colts, Chargers, their first place team. Jets now with some distance on the other 7-5 teams. The Jacksonville, you never know if streaking Buffalo gets in the mix at 6-6.
Cincinnati now at 6-6 with that win over the Ravens today makes that interesting going down the stretch.
They could each be like the second or third best teams in the NFC. Buffalo and
Cincinnati. Correct.
Wow. When we return, game balls on a day with a lot of decisions made by some of the big-time teams, obviously going places.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. Primetime Performers, brought to you by Domino's new Double Melt Pizza. Get the door. It's Domino's.
Boomer, this is one of the few times I've ever split my game ball, but I thought they were both deserving. The wide receivers of the Cincinnati Bengals, T.J. Houshmandzadeh, 10 receptions, 171 yards and a touchdown. Chad Johnson, another 10 receptions, 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. I felt like I had to give it to both of them.
And a big comeback indeed for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Donovan McNabb, club record for yards thrown, 5 touchdowns, all in the first half. He'd never done that in his career before. Donovan McNabb and the Eagles made mincemeat of the Green Bay Packers. You think Donovan will invite me back? He said, well, you don't do well, you might come back. And by the way, Brett Favre didn't play just about all the fourth quarter because the record, he'd rather be healthy for the stretch run. And so his streak of 36 games in a row of throwing a touchdown pass ends. And for you youngsters who out there, unlike maybe Tommy and I, never got a chance to see Johnny Unitas, that record took 5 years to establish. 47 from
Louisville.
He was great. Favre, way to go, Brett. But the streak ends 11 shy. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Week 13 NFL Primetime.